Nebraska ETV Sports presents the Nebraska High School Football Championships from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Tonight in the Class A championship game, it's the Millard West Wildcats and the Omaha Creighton Prep Junior Jays. This Nebraska ETV Sports exclusive is made possible in part by Alltel, providers of long-distance, wireless, and internet services. Alltel, the power to simplify. And by U.S. Bank, a premier partner of the Nebraska School Activities Association. Hello again, everyone. I'm Steve Roth, and we're looking for a great ball game tonight here at Memorial Stadium in the Class A championship class. Two teams that met earlier this season. Adrian Fiala joins me once again. And Adrian, we're looking for a couple of teams that have met before and really looking to do battle.
Well, Steve, I'll tell you what, they did meet before. And you don't like to play a team twice in one season, as Tom Jaworski, the head coach for Creighton Prep, said. But Creighton Prep beat Millard West 14-0 the first time out. Psychology says it's not good to come back and play that same team. Tom's worried about it. In the contrast, Dan McLaughlin, the head coach for Millard West, said, we want to play these guys. He said after that football game, that first game, we hope to meet these guys again. He's going to get his wish tonight.
Well, Adrian, one thing looking on paper, we would expect a defensive struggle tonight. Both teams pretty good defenses, offenses, sometimes hard to get a little bit rolling.
A little bit sketchy on the offense, but defense, no question about it. That's how both of these teams got here. On offense, though, a couple of quarterbacks, a two-platoon system for Creighton Prep. David Slaughter and Dan Burns, the two quarterbacks that Creighton Prep uses. Sean McLaughlin, the son of the head football coach at Millard West, he will run the team for the Millard West Wildcats. He is a big guy, 6'6", 190 pounds. He can throw it from here to Roca, probably, Steve, but it's going to be the matchup on the defensive side of the football tonight that's going to tell the tale for the winner in this ball game.
And when we take a look at these teams, one maybe will pass more than the other.
You got to look at Sean McLaughlin, as I said a moment ago, and then it's up to the Creighton Prep defense to stop it. They're giving up just over 200 yards a game, very stingy on defense, about 10 points per game, Steve. So they really have their work cut out for them. And again, you have that psychological edge of that previous win and trying to come back and beat a team the second time in the season. Creighton Prep has done it, however. They lost to Central the first time around. Played them in the playoffs. They beat Central in the playoffs, but then Westside, they beat Westside in the first game of the year. Then they played them in the semifinal game. They beat them to reach here in the state finals. So it can be done, and they've showed they can do it. So, it's tough to call this one, Steve. It's a close, tough ball game. And again, whoever plays the best defense tonight is going to win this football game.
And if I think it comes down to a kicking game, maybe Creighton Prep has a bit of an edge.
Well, they do. They've always been known for their kickers and their kicking of the football. And hopefully tonight we'll see enough touchdowns that we won't have to worry too much about place kicking and field goals and punting and all that sort of thing, Steve, because I think Creighton Prep probably does indeed have the edge on that.
Well, one thing is we see a lot more warm jackets tonight, Adrian, than you did last night. What a contrast in weather from yesterday to today.
Yeah, we came from somewhat of a Miami type, well, not quite Miami last night. 67 degrees compared to 40 here tonight, Steve. But again, much more warmer than what we have now. And there was just as much face paint and body paint last night as you saw here just a moment ago with all the blue bodies and the blue and white faces and all the Creighton prep that is Junior J faithful. They are after their 12th championship in school history. They lead their first all-time in that category, but looking for number 12 here tonight. They have one set. They have, there you see the current weather stats as we talked about a moment ago.
Yeah, 40 degrees. The wind has died down this afternoon. You did a game between Randolph and Stromsburg, and it was much windier, and that wind had a lot of effect. I think Coach McLaughlin of Millard West very concerned about the wind because they like to pass the football. They do not have to be worried about it now.
There you see the officials for tonight's game. The referee Greg Mashman, the umpire Ken Marr, linesman Chuck Lewis, and line judge is Todd Yorgies, and the back judge is Ben Borgman. The wind this afternoon was incredible. And as we look across the field, you can see there's the flags atop the standards, the towers across the field. Absolutely no wind to speak of right now, Steve.
And again, I think Dan McLaughlin has to be happy about that because they would like to pass the football. Omaha Creighton Prep does have a great defense, and they want to be able to run balance. Millard West on the year pretty much 50-50 pass versus run. Creighton Prep pretty much a running team. I don't think we'll see a lot of passing out of them. They run the basic I formation. One thing we will see is some heavy hitting tonight. These two teams played earlier in the year, as we mentioned in our opening comments, and that game really won by Omaha Creighton Prep's defense. They ran back a long interception for a touchdown, also ran a fake field goal. So neither team generated a lot of offense in that particular game.
And the guy that did both of those was John Vincentini, number 88 for Creighton Prep. He is a big factor in their fortunes here tonight. One thing to keep in mind in that previous game, Creighton Prep stopped Millard West in that football game a couple of times at the 1-yard line trying to take it in. And Millard West did not pick up, or check it, it was the West Side game. So we're ready to go here. Camp's underway.
And Creighton Prep kicking off to Millard West, who will watch it go right out of the end zone. Super job by Creighton Prep's kicker to just knock it right on out. And so it'll be Millard West. The Wildcats get the ball on their own 20-yard line.
Adam Kingston kicking off for the Junior Jays and putting it out of the end zone. They'll start it up at the 20. Said a moment ago, this is actually the 12th championship game that the Junior Jays have played in. Actually, they have won the state title 7 times, 5 in a row from 85 to 89. And here's the first play from Millard West.
Coach's son, Sean McLaughlin, will come up over to center. He's the quarterback. Behind him will be Mickey Roberts, Brian McIntyre, David Fredericks. As they send a man in motion. And they'll go right belly up to the fullback, and a loose football. It looks like Creighton Prep has recovered.
Right away, the Junior J defense goes to work. A lot of movement, a lot of motion, a lot of different sets that Millard West will run, and you'll see tonight. But immediately the Jays go to work. We'll have to see if we can figure out who made the hit here. Right up the middle.
And it looks like John McClay is the one who gets up on the football there, pops loose, and I believe McClay recovers for Creighton Prep, so they immediately have an opportunity on offense. Up over center will be David Slaughter. Again, that rotating quarterback situation we'll see tonight. They give it to the tailback, and that's David Horn. Horn just a sophomore, as Matt Thompson made the stop for Creighton Prep.
And also Tyler Lindstrom in on there. Tyler Lindstrom, number 59 linebacker. He came in and ran it out from the back end.
Now you get a chance to see the starters tonight. Slaughter at quarterback with Goodman, Horn, Kingston all behind him, and at the ends are Martini and Vincentini. In the offensive line, Coleman, Glasgow, Buda, Holtmeyer, and Kramer will be the big guys up front. Dropping back is Slaughter, and he's just looking for an opening there, and that Millard West defense closed down in a hurry. It looked like Boyd Beers, the first guy there. Beers, linebacker, closed very fast.
Good job by David Horn, the lead back on the play. He let the block go right about the 18-yard line, and Slaughter just tucked it up inside from there. But that play designed for David Slaughter to run all the way.
And Horn is one of their top rushers on the year, has over 580 yards rushing on the year, 6 touchdowns as they bring the chains out for the measurement. But a good play that'll bring up, if they do not get the first down, to bring up a third down. So important measurement here, and it looks like it's just a little bit short, as you can see. And so now it'll be third down and very short. We'll take a look at the Millard West defense. We've got Leaders and Thompson, the defensive lineman, not the defensive end, along with Reeder and Mateo, the safety for the Millard West Wildcats. And you take a look at the backs and linebackers. You got Lindstrom, Leaders, and Veers, Hoff, all the linebackers. Quarterbacks are Metzger and McIntyre. And we go on third down and very short for the Junior Jays.
They usually like to go over Jim Holtmeyer, 77, right guard.
And Slaughter goes right up the middle, has it easily, close down to the 11-yard line.
Adam Buda, Jim Holtmeyer on that right side, again leading the way for Slaughter on that. Well, he had to pick up about 6 inches for the first down, but Adam Buda, the son of former Creighton Prepster himself and former UNO coach Sandy Buda. And Jim Holtmeyer, again, he is a huge load up there, 6'4", 275. And again, short yardage situations, that's where the Junior Jays like to go.
So a couple of coaches' sons playing in there for Omaha Creighton Prep as you get a chance right now for Slaughter on 1st and 10. He'll roll out, and looks like he wants to keep it all the way. Now he's got a man out there, but tipped away beautifully on the defense by Brian McIntyre. McIntyre with just an outstanding play for the Wildcats.
Trying to get the ball over there on the out pattern. I believe that was number 43 for Creighton Prep. And that's Adam Kingston. And we'll see it again. Slaughter trying to draw that defense up here, trying to make him come to him and then get. Actually, the ball was tipped twice. There were 2 hands delivered onto that football, so no chance at all. But great job over there by McIntyre to get over and knock it down.
Slaughter did a good job looking things over as we've got 2nd down and 10 now from the 11-yard line. Prep sends a man in motion, and Slaughter will come back and give it off to Horn. Horn trying to find some room out there and gets it down to the 9-yard line as he's tackled by Veers once again and Brent Metzger.
Excellent pursuit that time. Veers leading the charge over there, leads it, or actually second on this team in tackles. You see him, number 53 down there. They try to block him out of the way. There he's going to lead it up. There's a little bit of a help right there underneath. That looked like number 28 Metzger. It was Metzger. He slows him down, and Veers finishes it off.
3rd and 7 from about the 10-yard line now for Prep. Again, they'll send their tailback in motion. And Slaughter's going to drop back. He's got some time, and here comes an in rush in hard. He'll have to hurry. No room for him, and he'll try to slip down there close to the 6-yard line. He'll be short of the first down as Brent Metzger again closed fast. Boy, Metzger with good closing speed, Adrian.
You bet. Showing tremendous speed to get there and make that play, Steve. Here we see it from the ground level. Get right in the action as Slaughter looking. Everything's covered up in the secondary, trying to get that ball into the end zone, so he's going to try to tuck it and go. No chance at all, so it'll be 4th down now. Kingston will come in and try to split the uprights.
It is a 4th down as it'll be a 24-yard attempt. They'll set it down for Kingston, and he'll get it through, and it's good. So Omaha Creighton Prep takes advantage of the fumble and the turnover, and will go up on top 3-0.
What you try to do, you get the turnover, Steve, and you'd have to capitalize on the turnover. And they got it in good shape down there in Millard West territory. Not able to get the touchdown, but they do come away with 3. You see right there, 3 points, 9:20 left here in the first quarter. So Creighton Prep draws the first damage right here, or makes the first damage, I should say, as they come out to the field now to see if that defense can come up big once again against this Millard West, that is, offense.
And I think, Adrian, that's got to give Creighton Prep a psychological advantage to start the game.
Well, they had a disadvantage coming in. As Tom Jaworski, their head coach, said, I'd rather not play this team twice in 1 year, but hey, that's how it all came out. But they have jumped on that mistake, that fumble immediately, and turned it into points. And they have done that quite often. They're +9 in the turnover category. You see them ready to return here.
Andy Calloway and Eric Fisher back to receive the ball as Kingston will tee it up for Prep, and he has got a good leg. And Tom Jaworski told me that earlier in the week. That's one thing he had confidence in is their kicking game. And Kingston has showed it all the way so far tonight. He kicked it out on his first attempt.
Here it goes again. He's got a good, whatever wind is there, he's got a little bit of a breeze at his back, and that'll be down in the end zone also.
So Kingston really a factor here early as Fisher just has to down it, and Millard West will get their second chance. Take a look at the backs and receivers for the Wildcats. There's McLaughlin at quarterback, Roberts the fullback, Brian McIntyre the running back along with Fredericks, Hoff and Bruce at the ends. And we take a look at the offensive line. Brosdon, leaders, Ludeman Davis, leaders, and Thompson. As is breaking him out of the huddle is McLaughlin, who can pass pretty well. And will roll out, and he's got a man open as he crosses down close to the 30-yard line. He finds McIntyre, who's tackled by Matt Stratman of Prep. So McIntyre finds a nice little opening. Let's take a look at the Creighton Prep defense. You've got Horn at linebacker along with Goldwitzer, Vincentini, and then the quarterbacks Lohr and Nissi. The defensive lineman Matt Hauser, Drahota, Adams, Glasgow, and then the safety Stratman and McClay. We come out on second down and very short now for Millard West. The Wildcats try to pick up a first down. They go with the cross-buck play, and it appears that they'll have the first down just across the 30-yard line.
Just trying to make that first down. You know exactly where he needed to go on the play. The fullback taking the ball up inside. That was number 32. Mickey Roberts leads this team in carries with 156 on the year. 769 yards picked up through that effort.
Frank Goldwitzer was in on the stop, the leading tackler on the year for Omaha Creighton Prep. So 1st and 10 now at the 31-yard line for the Wildcats. They'll send a counter play around, and there's not much going there. Good job by the Prep defense.
Specifically, John Vincentini coming across, keeping the play in front of him, stuffing the play up inside. Vincentini, 6'3", 215, and he is.
And I think
we have an injury, but I think he's going to be okay.
Maybe Goldwitzer for Prep
He was banged up.
Outstanding linebacker.
He was banged up in their last game. Watch the play by number 88, bottom of your screen here, Vincentini. He's going to come right there, and he fights off actually 2 blocks, slows the play down, and gets Phil on the tackle there.
Pass play as they find McIntyre again. McIntyre will be short of the first down on 2nd and long. He'll get it out to about the 39-yard line. It looks like it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2 as Lohr comes in to make the tackle for the Junior Jays. So the Wildcats have a big 3rd down coming up here as they try to get some motion going. It's 3-0 here in the first quarter.
Trying to get that ball out in the flat, trying to isolate one-on-one with a backer or make that corner commit very quickly as they break the huddle again. Finish that in a moment here.
Sean McLaughlin at quarterback. We'll set him down on 3rd down. They fake the counter play. Now McLaughlin wants to pass, and he's got a man wide open over the middle, and the pass is dropped. As that was Adam Steyer coming across the middle, and he would have easily had the first down, but he couldn't hang on to it. Good-looking play that time.
Big play, well done, well executed, but again, the ball faking the reverse play, then sprinting out to the left side. They got this receiver back behind the linebackers. They had a man short, man under, and a man over, and they went to the man over. He was wide open in the middle, but unfortunately, Steyer dropped the pass, and now Millard West will punt it away.
And back deep is John McClay. He's one of the receivers back there for Prep. McClay gets away from it, and now they'll just have to let it roll, and this will be a good job by Millard West, pinning Prep very deep as the ball rolls down to about the 7-yard line. So there's a case, Adrian, I see so many times in high school, if you're the guy deep on a punt, you've got to catch that ball.
Yeah, it's tough. That ball bounced quite a ways up in front, and then, you got to be careful on those rolling balls like that. Usually, Steve, on the 3rd bounce, so that ball will come up. It didn't come up that time, and he just, he probably used good discretion to let it go, because you try to pick it up, and all of a sudden you get nailed, and then you fumble, and all of a sudden Millard West is right down there about 7 yards away. So Creighton Prep a long ways away, but they'll try to run the long field here.
Slaughter still in there at quarterback for Prep. We'll probably see him most of the night. They come out in that I formation again and give it to the deep man. That's Horn once again. And Horn will pick up about 3-4 yards across out to the 11-yard line. And the tackle made by Andy Leaders that time for Millard West.
Millard West running a 4-man front up there with 4 linebackers. 4 linebackers that are playing fairly deep off the football, reading the situation, closing very quickly. Excellent speed, quickness by the youngsters playing in the linebacker spot.
It might have been Joe Morrow in there at tailback that time. Morrow and Horn switch off at the tailback position. This time they'll give it to the fullback, and he is slammed right at the line of scrimmage. A loose ball, and Millard West, there they have it. Millard West now with their opportunity.
Looked like number 57 came away with the football. That's Jeremy Knott for Millard West. He was underneath the pile, and he had his hands around the pig. And you talk about fumbling down there in that territory. It's just exactly what happened. And now the Creighton Prep defense, again known for their strength and their toughness, well, they'll have to step up here and see what they can do against this Millard West offense inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Millard West fumbled on their very first possession, and there you see the fumble now by Creighton Prep. Millard West will have to see if they can get more than 3 out of it, as immediately bringing him up to the line will be McLaughlin. McLaughlin gives it to the tailback. Not a lot of room as he fights and spins his way down.
Titus Adams on the hit that time. He came right across, beat his man off the football that time, slanted in, and made the tackle. 69 tackles on the year for Adams, second on the ball club. He is an all-state candidate, by the way, and a lot of people think just a tremendous football player. He's a junior, 6'4", 275.
So Mickey Roberts on the carry that time has been the leading rusher for Millard West. As Slaughter now brings him up to the line on 2nd down and 5. He'll draw back and looking for Bruce over there in the open, and we may have a pass interference call. Bruce was tightly covered by Dan Lohr, and Bruce had come into the game with the play, ran a nice pattern, but Lohr a little bit too tight on him, so we'll have an interference call against Omaha Creighton Prep.
Well, Bruce ran the pattern to the inside, tried to get Lohr to bite to the inside, and then squared it off towards that goal line, towards that first pylon. Take a look right here. Yeah, he had that backhand on him also. No problem with that. Good call. Referee's right on the money there.
Well, McLaughlin did a good job of passing. And I think, had the interference not been there, he certainly would have had a great opportunity.
And it's a first down.
So it's 1st and goal now at the about 3-yard line. Very close to that 3-yard line. And let's see what McLaughlin can do here for Millard West, who trails it 3-0. They reset their formation, and he'll go to the first man through. Gets very little room. Mickey Roberts was stopped immediately by David Horn. So Roberts does just no room for him to go at all. And he has 7 touchdowns on the season, so they're a guy like to give the ball down close to the goal line.
Well, Jim Holtmeyer, 77, is the guy right inside there. He just stacked it up, and he made Roberts go to the right side, and that's where the pursuit was. But Jim Holtmeyer, he's a big guy also, 6'4", 275. He made the play.
3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Millard West fakes, and rolling out is McLaughlin. Looks for a man in the end zone and tipped away nicely by David Horn. So Horn, who committed the interference, comes back and makes a nice defensive play for Creighton Prep.
Intended for Adam Steyer, and had the ball been delivered, it was a touchdown. There was a fake again on the reverse play, rolled to the left side, and you see he's wide open. Adam Steyer just lead him in there, touch it in there, but McLaughlin overthrew him. Unfortunately, that would have been 6 definitely for Millard West had that ball been just touched in there by Sean McLaughlin.
3rd and goal from the 4-yard line for Millard West, who trails it 3-0. McLaughlin gives it to the first man through. And again, it was Roberts, as a flag did go down. So we do have a flag. We'll see who the penalty's on.
Steve, in the earlier game this year, Millard West, Creighton Prep did stop Millard West twice from the 1-yard line, prevented a touchdown in that ball game, preserving their shutout. As we'll find out here in a moment, the referee, Greg Mashman, will give us an indication here very shortly as to what that penalty is.
Apparently against Millard West. The penalty declined, and that will bring up a 4th down. So will Millard West bring in their kicking team now and try to tie this up. And they're going to go for it on 4th down. So they will go for it. No, now it is the field goal team. And it'll be Nick Goldsberry attempting a 20-yarder here to try to tie up the ball game. The ball is set, and Goldsberry looks like it's good from here. It is. And we have a 3-3 ball game, so a couple of field goals.
Yeah, you needed to go ahead and put the points up on the board. Illegal motion penalty is what the penalty was that play previously, and so there's no doubt you need to put the points on the board and tie up the ball game. That's what they did. As the green and white balloons now make their way to the heavens as the Millard West fans, the Wildcat fans, celebrate that 3-point, the first points on the board for their team, and we have a tie game with 5:05 left here in the first quarter.
Well, it's kind of interesting. Both teams fumbling and really setting up the offensive scores, but the defense has really knuckled down for both Millard West and Omaha Creighton Prep, and they held each other's opponents to just the 3 points. So the fumble's a factor early, but then the defenses have become a factor as well. And set to kick it off is Jeff Weesey, and back to receive will be Joe Morrow and Kevin Malone for Creighton Prep. And Weesey gets a pretty good foot in it, but it'll be taken by Morrow as he crosses out to the 20. He's nailed hard at the 26-yard line. Whoa, what a hit by Derek Mateo. Mateo whacked him good.
Derek, the senior, 6'1", 185, and doing a great job on kick coverage that time. Stayed in his lane on the far end. The ball caught, headed right up the middle, and he just came from the right side, just about as fast and as quick as you could come. And Derek Mateo lights up the ball carrier. There it is again. Great hit.
So Dan Slaughter will remain a quarterback for Omaha Creighton Prep. Or did they? Now they got Burns in there now. So Dan Burns has come in. As we said, they do like to alternate their quarterbacks. So we'll see Burns, and he'll give it off to Horn, and Horn is hit behind the line of scrimmage for about a 2-yard loss.
Good job, Jeremy Knott down there, number 57, coming up and making the quick hit, stepping right up into the hole. Jeremy Knott, a junior, 5'11", 205, and he eliminates any forward progress. There's actually about a half-a-yard loss on the play. There he is right there. He's pumped. He's ready to go.
We'll call it 2nd down 11 now for Creighton Prep at their own 26-yard line. And we'll see if Burns can generate some offense for the Junior Jays, and he'll drop back to pass. Looking upfield, and he had a man out there. As that was David Horn coming out of the backfield. They do like to pass to him a lot. He has several receptions on the year, but that time a little bit overthrown.
Matt Hof back there for Millard West on the coverage. As you're going to see Burns here rolling right, looking, trying to drop it over the defense, kind of rainbow it in there. That's Hof coming from underneath there. But again, just off the fingertips of the receiver on the play as the Jays now face third down.
Burns, the 6'2", 177-pound junior, still in at quarterback on third down and 11. He'll go play action and now looks upfield. He really fires this one out there, and good defense on the play by Brian McIntyre of Millard West.
Trying to get the football into Adam Kingston going down the field. He started out on the right side out of the slot, came across the field, and then Burns wound up and tried to fire it down there, but again, the ball underthrown, and Brian McIntyre knocks down his second pass here in the ball game, and Jays now will line up in punt formation.
So Fisher and McIntyre will drop back for Millard West to receive the football. And both teams right now having a little trouble generating some offense. Punt taken at the 35 by Fisher. Fisher has no room, and good defense quickly down there for Creighton Prep. That looked like Pat Drahota. Drahota got down there in a hurry and did a good job on the stop.
Good coverage on the play, and again, pretty good hang time. That allows that football, your team, to get downfield, and sometimes you see the line drive kick, and that contributes a lot to the return. But this time, pretty good hang time on the play as we see it again as Fisher nowhere to go, and it was indeed Pat Drahota with a host of other blue jerseys around him.
Well, we'll see if McLaughlin can get some offense generated now for the Wildcats. He'll fake to his fullback and look out into the flat and goes right to McIntyre. McIntyre able to pick up about 5 yards before he's hauled down by Frank Goldwitzer, the linebacker. Again, Goldwitzer, 6'1", 210-pound senior, has 128 tackles on the season, has been the main defensive stopper for Prep.
Second team Super State player last year, working on that again this year. He said their motto this year was one word, and that was Lincoln, and here they are. They're playing in the state final championship game. Again, as you said, Steve, leading tackler on the team bumped up a little here in their last ball game, however.
Second down and 5 for the Wildcats of Millard West. As McLaughlin goes on the counter play, and a nice job by David Fredericks picking up close to the first down. It appears he got 5 yards. Goldwitzer again in and on the stop. He's just all over the field.
Little misdirection that time, trying to catch the Blue Jays. Again, moving to the right-hand side. The play comes back to the left-hand side. And trying to catch the Blue Jays maybe in a little bit of a slant or in over pursuit on the play, and it goes for good yardage in the first down. And Millard West, well, a little bit of momentum here, Steve.
Andy Jensen came in with the play. The 6'2", 180-pound senior will split out to the right as McLaughlin on 1st and 10 gives it on a counter play, and he'll be hauled down. That's McIntyre again. And he is hauled down by David Horn. So Horn also showing us a lot of defense so far tonight.
You bet. And another excellent play by Vincentini, 88. Again, watch Vincentini left to your screen. See, he makes that back. The back wanted to cut in, but he stuffed all that, and he gave his players on the outside time to get up and get over and make the play for no gain. And again, John Vincentini, All-State candidate, and playing very, very well here in the early going of this football game.
Second down and 10 now for the Wildcats. Out near the midfield stripe. And we'll see if McLaughlin fakes to McIntyre on the counter play and now wants to go deep. He's got a man out there but can't quite get it to him as he was looking for Daniel Bruce that time. Dan Lohr right there on the defense for Prep.
Thought maybe in this ball game that Daniel Bruce would be the big factor tonight for Millard West. He missed the first game. He missed the first football game that they played, and obviously Millard West lost that game. And he is a deep threat. He's got great speed, gets to the outside, averaging 20 yards per catch this year. This time the ball just a little bit thrown out of reach for Daniel Bruce. Coverage was there, but again, the ball just a little bit over his fingertips as we have a timeout now called on the field by Millard West.
And they're going to call timeout on 3rd down and 10. Again, the ball just short of the 50. And we've only got about 2:37 left to go here in the first quarter. It's really been a game so far of defense. Each team's offenses fumbled the ball deep in their own territory, and the defenses were able to hold their opponents to field goals. It was Millard West getting on the board first with a 24-yard field goal after recovering a fumble, and then, Creighton Prep getting on first, and then Millard West was able to get on the scoreboard with a 20-yard field goal to tie it up after they had recovered a Creighton Prep fumble.
Been kind of the mirror. Look in the mirror, Steve, and you see each team doing the same kind of things. As sometimes you look in the mirror and you see that, and look at that. It's probably the brightest blue body paint I've ever seen in my life. And then you have the Millard West Wildcat. Tell you what, he doesn't have any body paint on him. I think I'll go dance with him, not those other guys. But there's just the colorful sights and sounds of the state final Class A championship football game here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
And I can assure you, Adrian and I both have our shirts on as we get set on 3rd and 10 now for Millard West.
Face paint, though, Steve. I want to keep that a secret.
And they tried to go on a delay call that time. McLaughlin didn't have much there because Frank Goldwitzer met the running back right at the line of scrimmage, and West will have to punt away the football.
Goldwitzer there, Titus Adams there, Vincentini there. We see it one more time. Stuff it right up. He actually hit his own guy that time. That was Andy Leaders up in front there. Leaders the left guard, and we'll see the punt now by Millard West.
I believe it's going to be Prep now receiving the ball at the 9-yard line, and that is McClee. And he's got some room. He may go. He's at the 40 and nobody there. He will go all the way. That's McClee. John McClee, a 5'10 senior, goes all the way for the touchdown. Approximately, we'll call it about an 85-yarder. We'll see where he picks that ball up. But McClee found an opening, and he was gone. He's got some wheels. Once he hit about the 40-yard line, there was nobody else there but a convoy of blue.
Watch the block here, top of the screen. Right there on number 59. Man, what a tremendous block that was. 59 paying the price. That was Tyler Lindstrom. Didn't get the number of the truck that hit him from Creighton Prep, but there goes McClee down the sideline. McClee, the senior, 5'10", 165 in tremendous speed. Just hauling down that east sideline to put Prep up by 6 points.
We're going to call it about 92 yards. It looked to me like he got that thing at about the 8-yard line. Got that one big block you talked about, Adrian. And once he hit about the 40-yard line, he was gone.
45-yard punt, 93-yard return.
So Creighton Prep calls timeout here on the extra point. Apparently there was a little confusion down on the field. Tom Jaworski wasn't too happy with it, but McClee shows that he's got some wheels. So a little discussion now. I'm not sure what happened, why they called the timeout, but I just know Tom Jaworski wasn't happy about it. But it looks like they'll go for 2. Nope, they are going for 1. That's why I don't understand what happened on the timeout. It'll be Kingston, who's an excellent kicker. Kingston got the field goal earlier tonight, and they set it down, and he'll have it. So now it is a 10-3 score. Big punt return for Creighton Prep by John McClee.
And Prep answers immediately after exchanging field goals. Here it comes again, the EP. Right on through. 10-3 our count. 1:45 left, as you can see. And Creighton Prep, again, Steve, I'm impressed with what they're doing tonight. They're, a lot of times you see a team that's come out, they shut out Millard West last time out, and they come out and they're maybe a little bit stale, a little bit just not in it mentally. But I think tonight they are in this football game mentally, at least here in the early going. So we'll see how it all evolves here as we move along, as we wind down this first quarter.
Be very important for Millard West to generate some offense as Fisher and Callaway will drop back for the Wildcats. I think this is a big series, Adrian, mentally for Millard West.
You bet. You've got to step back up, keep yourself in the football game. Again, a lot of football left to play, and there's a lot of talent on that field. But again, that mental edge is also important as we're about ready to kick it away. Kingston there to kick it away.
And he's given him no chance so far tonight. This one will be returnable, as it looks like it's Fisher. He'll pick it up the 5-yard line, gets it across the 20, and he has a bit of a seam before he is nailed out at the 28. He is slammed hard by Kevin Mattini.
Lots of big hitting going on down there. You just saw it again. There have been 2 or 3 tremendous hits so far in this football game. We expect that to happen as the whole thing proceeds. Adam Kingston, I want to add, Ben Kingston's little brother. Ben Kingston, of course, here at the University of Nebraska. And good to see Adam carrying on the old family traditions. And he can kick the football. Excellent kicker for the Junior Jays.
A really important series now for Millard West as Sean McLaughlin will again set him down on 1st and 10. Just one back behind him, double wing. Now he'll look to pass again. He overthrew it, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Prep. And carrying it down to the 20-yard line is John Kozel. Right now, that Kozel, I think that's, we'll have to see for sure who picked it off.
It's either Kozel or Lyons. Colin Lyons will know in a moment here as you get another look at the play. Play action again, and the ball is overthrown by McLaughlin. He's had 2 or 3 overthrows tonight. And let's see if we can see it. I think it's number 90, I believe. Yes, indeed, number 90. Colin Lyons, senior for Creighton Prep. He just hanging out there in the flat, doing his zone responsibility, and the ball overthrown, and it lands right in his midst. Good return, and again, it gives Creighton Prep, Steve, just a golden opportunity again to put more points on the board as they have the ball at the Millard West 20-yard line.
And it's going to be David Slaughter in at quarterback. We've seen Slaughter and Burns have switched back and forth. It's Slaughter getting the call this time as he sets him down in that I formation, trying to get his team even bigger lead, but the defense is solid. The ball popped loose, but the officials apparently had called it down. Troy Goodman in on the stop for Millard West.
Goodman there along with Nick Leaders. Nick Leaders, number 66. Filling up the middle for Millard West as Creighton Prep just makes about 1.5 yards on the play. 104 and counting as they call the play and break the huddle. Slaughter likes to run the option. He's known more for his option ability than his throwing ability.
So on 2nd down and about 8 to go. Here's again Slaughter looking for some room and just has to carry it up himself before Jeremy not able to bring him down.
Quite frankly, Steve, I'm not sure what that play was supposed to be. He took the snap. I think he was going to fake dive and then try to go option. See, it's a little bit delayed, whatever that play was going to be. If it's a quarterback delay, well, it worked not so well. But tough to diagnose or analyze what that play was going to be. Makes it 3rd down and 7 with 23 and counting here in the first quarter.
So now it's 3rd down as Slaughter finds an opening. He'll get it down to the 10-yard line. He'll have the 1st down as he fights his way all the way down to the 6-yard line. And it's Boyd Veers who finally stops him for Millard West.
Slaughter.
Nice little play by Slaughter that time as he just found an opening and turned it upfield.
Watch him. Andy Leaders is going to have a shot at him back here, number 51. He's going to make him miss right there. The guy is very good on his feet. Another miss right there. Actually 2 misses and still stays up. The fourth Millard West guy to go after him finally makes the tackle as the quarter ends.
So into the first quarter, and Creighton Prep will have a 10-3 lead, but they are knocking at the door. And this is, again, a big series. I think especially Millard West psychologically really trying to hold them down. But it's been kind of a game of turnovers, too. Each team fumbling in the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, Omaha Creighton Prep with a 10-3 lead over Millard West. We'll come back with the second quarter action right after this. Well, Creighton Prep will try to sneak in some more points here as we'll get set for the second quarter of action. And again, the first quarter was who could take advantage of turnovers. Each team scored a field goal following their opponent's turnovers. And then the big punt return by John McClay of Omaha Creighton Prep made it a 10-3 score, and now an interception by Omaha Creighton Prep sets up another scoring opportunity as they'll have first and goal at the 7-yard line.
And in the first quarter, everything pretty even as far as total offense goes. 35 for Millard West and 33 for Prep as Prep breaks it, again, knocking on that door, first down and goal.
Slaughter still at quarterback. We've seen Burns one series. Slaughter wants to keep it now. Nobody there to pitch it to, and it's just a race for his life there as he is hauled down by Tyler Lindstrom.
Lindstrom showing tremendous speed to stay with Slaughter on the play. Watch him, 59. He's going to come through and then keep going, man. Keep going, keep going. There he is right there, along with 57, Jeremy Knott.
And that was the case, Adrian, where Joe Morrow and Slaughter just never had a good relationship between running back and quarterback.
Yeah, you need to keep about a 3-yard relationship there, 2 to 3 yard relationship, and obviously the pitch man needs to be out ahead a little bit, and that did not happen on that play. Slaughter ran away from it.
Second and goal now for the Junior Jays. Slaughter again was just running back, and there was motion by the running back that time, no doubt about it. So that'll be a penalty against Creighton Prep, as it looks like Joe Morrow was in motion. So that'll be a 5-yard mark off.
Second play now that's happened like that, where he takes the snap and just kind of turns around, and you just don't know what exactly is supposed to happen on that play. At least I don't. I wish somebody could clue me in, but maybe he heard the whistle. We can't hear that whistle up here as we see there's an illegal shift again. Is the signal by the referee. That referee is Greg Mashman out there. So Creighton Prep loses. Well, they lose the momentum of their offense. They step it back again. It'll be second down now. Second down and goal.
So again, it'll be David Slaughter, the 5'11", 175-pound junior. Bring him to the line on second down. Looks into the end zone and slapped away beautifully by Tyler Lindstrom again. Good defense by Tyler Lindstrom.
You bet. Coming out of that backer spot, gets that left hand of the ball, knocks it down. There was a receiver in the corner of the end zone down there, but that ball was not going to get by Tyler Lindstrom. Getting a good drop to the outside, the linebacker, as we see Slaughter. Here comes the pressure. Good job there with pressure, and wow, that ball was close to being intercepted there.
So that'll bring up a big third down right here. Very big play for the Millard West defense, who finds their team down 10-3. Let's see what David Slaughter can do, the quarterback for Prep. Will roll out to his left, looking to pass the football, and he's under a big rush, and down he goes. Nice defense by Andy Leaders, the 6'3", 225-pound senior. Played it beautifully, sticking with him all the way out. Strung the play out and able to tackle him.
Watch the block, the attempted block, 26. Troy Goodman was trying to put on Andy Leaders. Did not happen. He sheds that block, and Millard West's leading tackler on the year, also second in sacks with 5 this year. He makes the play, and that'll bring up the field goal try again by Creighton Prep.
And Kingston is going to attempt a 28-yard field goal. He has a 124-yarder. This one on the way, and it is no good. So big hold by Millard West. Millard West able to hold off the charge after the big interception, and it just went wide right.
Not by much. There's Kingston right there. See it again right here. Good set, good hold. And the ball is going to go up.
Wow.
Just misses the upright over there. Wow.
Almost hit the upright. Kingston, again, a very good kicker. He had a 24-yarder earlier. By the way, that 93-yard punt return for a touchdown by John McClay is a new Class A punt return record for a touchdown. So here comes Millard West in a hurry, and they go up the middle with very little to go, as Creighton Prep's so tough on defense. And just not a lot of running room, as Mickey Roberts on the carry that time for Millard West.
Tom Jaworski pacing the sidelines. He doesn't like to see those sort of points escape when you have it that close and miss a chip shot. You want to keep as many points on the board as you can. And Tom Jaworski now looking over his plays, trying to set up the next series for the junior days as the Millard West Wildcats set it up on their own side here.
McLaughlin the pass on 2nd and 8. Got a man out there, and dropping the football was Daniel Bruce. Bruce was wide open. Pretty good pass to him, and he just couldn't hang on to it, and he knows it. He's disappointed as much as anybody.
Ran the good route, Daniel Bruce. See the action again as McLaughlin is going to deliver the football right there in the hands. And again, Bruce runs the good route, and you see he took his eyes off the ball just a split second before it arrived. He was thinking about where he is going to run with the football, but you got to catch that. He knows that. There's no sense to belabor that point. But again, a good route that he ran, but again, just looked away at that last split second.
3rd down and 8 on the counter play. Millard West, nothing going. As again, it was Goldwitzer in on the tackle. Goldwitzer just has been everywhere, as David Fredericks just didn't have any running room at all.
I tell you what, Steve, that prep defense playing a lot of slam and bang out there here in this first half, and saw it again right there as they hold up their end of the deal here in the first half. Millard West will now punt it away. For Millard West, this will be their 3rd punt on the evening.
Well, McClay will be back there again. Let's see if he gets another punt return. He's joined by Lure. And I think it is going to be McClay getting the reception, and he'll get a pretty good return again. So McClay pretty tough back there, returning the football for Omaha Creighton Prep.
Great quick feet by the youngster, John McClay.
You'll see Nick Leaders now come in here to make the tackle.
See him here just trying to avoid people, and not very big. He's 5'10", 165 pounds, but again, tremendous quickness and speed, and he uses it very greatly to his advantage. As Prep now on the move, on the march.
And Prep with that lead here in the 2nd quarter, about 9:22 to go in the first half. And a little bit of a counter play. They'll pick up 5 yards as Andy Leaders in on the tackle for Millard West.
Trying to run a trap play over there with Jim Holtmeyer, the off guard, coming over. The right guard pulling from that spot and coming up into the hole, trying to lead it up inside. But again, Millard West bowling their neck on defense, Steve, and not budging an inch, and limit the carry to about 3 yards here. 2nd down and 7.
So David Slaughter still in at quarterback. We've seen Dan Burns for 1 series. Slaughter has pretty much done the job otherwise on 2nd down now, as he gives off to the tailback, and there is some room for Horn as he crosses the 30. He's going to try to go. He'll get down to the 10-yard line, and he's going to score. David Horn, 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore, just rambled 54 yards for the touchdown.
Well, he got a good lead block on the play to start it all out. And from that point on, it was a speed contest to the corner, and then he got to the corner and took it down this near sideline. There was some question by one of the coaches down there. See that block right there? Number 57 for Millard West. That was Jeremy not taking the block, but the lead block by the fullback out there. And again, now Horn is off to the races. And again, some concern about maybe touching the out-of-bounds line down there. But again, referee right on the play. Here comes the kick.
And Kingston puts it through the uprights. And suddenly it is 17-3. So just after Millard West made a big stop with Prep deep in their territory and avoided giving up any points, Horn rips off a 54-yarder, and he's one of the few sophomores we're seeing tonight.
He's one of the only, I think he's the only sophomore on this Creighton Prep football team, Steve. And man, did he put it there. Well, I don't know. I didn't get a good look at that. Didn't know that was coming. I don't know if we can see it again or not, but there was some concern, I think, that maybe he had touched that out-of-bounds line. But did you guys see it? Is it clear? Just inside by maybe about an
close.
inch? Okay.
Yeah, it was very close. And it was interesting to watch one of the blockers down that pulled up for Creighton Prep. That was Adam Kingston, who was right down there blocking, and he was afraid he was going to get a clipping call, and he held up his hands and said, look, I'm not hitting him.
Stay away.
It's tough right now for Millard West. They need to get something going with 8:33 into the first half, and they have not generated very much offense at all.
Here, let's take a look again. Right there. It looks like he's just in, maybe about a silly inch.
Yep.
Good call. Good call.
Very
good no call, we should say.
So here's Prep now, or Millard West rather, receiving the football, and they'll not be able to run it back again.
Well, that ball goes into the end zone, Steve. It's automatic touchback in high school. You cannot. The ball crosses the plane of the goal line. That's it. They wave it off, and it comes out to the 20-yard line. David Horn on the year, 580 yards rushing. And let's take a look tonight on the stat machine here. 5 carries for 59 yards and he has that touchdown for Creighton Prep. And all more important, puts him up by 14 points. There he is right there. He's happy. He's happy. Smiling right through that mouthpiece.
Well, let's see if McLaughlin can generate some offense, and they'll go right to the air, and it's picked off. And getting that is John McClay. What a night he's having. McClay with the interception. Earlier tonight, he had that 93-yard touchdown punt return. And now he gets an interception, and Creighton Prep is rolling right now.
I'll tell you what, McClay's bucking for airtime here. He's liking what's happening out there. He's giving his team another chance to really break this thing right here. 8:27 left in the ball game, as you saw a moment ago. But Creighton Prep again knocking on the door. McClay, second big play on the evening here, and bucking for the MVP honors in this ball game.
So here we are in the first half, and it's already a 17-3 Prep lead. As again go to Horn, and he is hit as he crosses the 20-yard line, picks up about 3 yards. As Matt Thompson in there on the defense for the Wildcats in Millard West. Looked like Andy Leaders assisting as well. There's
Sean McLaughlin trying to move the ball or throw that ball out there in the flat out pattern, and McClay just stepped inside, sitting out there in the flat. And McLaughlin having trouble tonight just picking up his receivers.
So Prep now on second down. Slaughter comes back again, gives it to the tailback. I believe that's Horn still in there. And he'll be about 4 yards short of a first down. As Nick Leaders in on the tackle for Millard West.
They got to get the ball just short of the 8-yard line to pick up a first down. It's third down now and about let's call it third down and 6, according to the board over there. And again, they need to get it just short of the 8-yard line.
So Slaughter will bring him up, and a big defensive series for Millard West. He had somebody out there but overthrew him. In on the coverage was McIntyre for Millard West.
He had Kingston out there on the route, going down the field, split man coming down the field. Broke it off into the deep flat out there, but Slaughter just overthrowing the football. No chance at all, no chance whatsoever for a reception. So we will see Kingston. He's lining up the crosshairs right now, number 43 right there.
This will be a 31-yard attempt for Kingston. He has a 24-yarder that he made in the first quarter, missed a 25-yarder. So he's 1 of 2 so far tonight. They have a lot of confidence in him, and this is a low live driver that misses to the left, so he is now 1 for 2 on the night. I don't think they ever got it set very good that time. Kingston just really never looked very confident approaching the football there.
Well, and his head was up on the kick, and that's one of the cardinal rules for kickers. You need to keep that chin tucked in, keep the head down. The head pulls up a little bit right there. He looked up at the ball just to see where it was going, and he pulls it left side. So those are easy points that escape Creighton Prep, 17-3, and we have a new quarterback out there. Or do we?
Now it's still McLaughlin in the ball game. McLaughlin will just hand off, and carrying the football, Mickey Roberts, the 6'1", 210-pound junior. Able just to get a couple, but a big defensive stop for Millard West that last series. Prep's Ray McGill made that last tackle.
Sean McLaughlin, the quarterback for Millard West, just under 1,700 yards passing this year, 18 touchdowns, 52% on the year. Great numbers. He needs to step it up here to put his team back in this game.
And McLaughlin will go back to pass. He's got a man streaking down the sideline, but the defense is there, a battle for the football. And Daniel Bruce unable to haul down the pass. Good defense on the play by Prep's Dan Lohr. Lohr has done a great job in the defensive backfield for the Junior Jays tonight.
That last attempt, his 10th attempt on the year, or on the game, that is 3 of 10 now for the evening as he sets it up. Good time to throw there. Maybe a little pressure coming left side, but the ball wobbling, a little bit underthrown, and you just got to go up for that football there. You got to battle for that ball, and Daniel Bruce not able to get over, and that's a good job defensively by the Junior Jays.
Yeah, Lohr, excellent job on defense. So it'll bring up third down and 7. And back to pass again is McLaughlin rolling around, and the defense is there to meet him. First man in that hit him was Luke Reedman and John Vincentini. So Reedman and Vincentini square up and nail McLaughlin for a loss, and so it'll be 4th and long, and Millard West will have to punt it away.
Here comes trouble right now. Reedman and Vincentini is McLaughlin looking downfield. He sees everything covered. Decides, well, I better eat it right here, as those two junior Jays have a little bit of late supper here. And the Millard West guy, well, the punter here will kick it away as gets it off the side of his foot, Steve.
Well, Lure will call the fair catch and get it for the junior Jays. So that time Millard West decided not to kick to McLee after that 94-yard punt return he had. So they kicked it to Lure, and Lure very wisely called the fair catch, and good field position for Creighton Prep again.
See some of the happy crowd here tonight. Their chance. Some of the Creighton, I presume, Creighton Prep fans with all that blue out there, all decked out. And last night a couple of T-shirts, and tonight ski suits, snowmobile suits.
Let's see if we have Slaughter still at quarterback. He is. David Slaughter has been in there most of the night, all but one series, and he has run the team very well. And he'll give it to the tailback. I believe that's Morrow in there. No?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Joe Morrow, number 28.
Okay, Joe Morrow, the 5'11", 182-pound senior. He was tackled by Andy Leaders of West. So Morrow able to pick up about 5 yards.
Watch Morrow here. He's going to take the handoff. Now he's going to switch over to the other side. Watch him switch the ball right there. Again, he eliminates contact with the football when he moves it over there. And that's just an automatic thing. You work at that as a running back just to protect the ball. Ball technique protects against a fumble.
And again, they'll go to the tailback, Morrow. And Morrow will just get a couple, and that's about it to bring up a third down. So Millard West's defense holds tough. Again, Nick Leaders with the tackle. And Leaders has been really tough.
See it again defense. Right here. Trying to take it right up the gut over the right side over there, over Buddha and Holtmeyer, and also Tom Kramer over there. But again, a short game over there, or game that is, as you said, Steve. Nick Leaders, leader has been a leader on this football team all year. Doing a fine job on defense tonight. We've mentioned his name a number of times.
3rd down and 4. Big 3rd down play as Prep will come right back to Morrow again. He'll turn the corner, and he's got some room out there, and he'll have the first down. Good quick hitting play to the outside as Brent Metzger had to go over and make the stop for Millard West.
Play built on speed and straight speed, as you see with Morrow. Morrow just picking it up and laying him down, going to the right-hand side. That Creighton Prep line over there making some good time, let's say, with the left side of the defensive line. See the block right there, 73, that's Kramer. And then now you got 4 white jerseys after him, but again, that's all linebacker and cornerback pursuit over there.
So Slaughter in 1st and 10 again goes back to Morrow, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage and then able to break one tackle and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. And so Millard West that time had a pretty good idea what was coming up. And that's not unusual for Tom Jaworski to keep going back to that running game as long as it was working. But that time they went to the well maybe one too many times.
It's almost the same play that they ran for a touchdown, but going the other way. Troy Goodman taking on the linebacker up inside, but this time the backer won, and he worked that inside shoulder to the inside and stuffed up the play, Steve.
So they want to go with a little screen play out to the outside. And I think that was Martini out there. Actually, that was Cortland Jimerson. Jimerson with the reception for Creighton Prep.
Tough to stop this kind of play as you see Slaughter just open up about a 2-step drop and try to get the ball out to Jimerson. Jimerson on the year, 13 receptions for 322 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just trying to get him out there one-on-one, maybe make the move, make the break. The defensive back makes a mistake, and he can take it on in from there.
On 3rd down and 5. Slaughter will roll out to his right, and he'll just take off with it, and he'll have the first down across the 20. He's still free, and all the way down to the 9-yard line. Before Eric Fisher finally hauled him down for Millard West, so pretty much looked like run all the way. He kind of rolled out, maybe faked the pass a bit, but it appeared that he was thinking about running all the way on this play.
Well, he's known for his running ability, although against Central in the playoffs he threw 2 touchdown passes, but now he's just trying to get off to the races here. The missed tackle right there, and good footwork right here to try to get into the end zone, picks up a couple more yards, and Prep again knocks on the door. They have a 17-3 lead right now as they go inside the tackle once again.
So Morrow carries the ball as they're spelling David Horn a little bit after he had that 54-yard touchdown run, giving him a rest on this series. And Morrow has been the workhorse. They've given to him several times on this series.
I think Morrow just went out of the ball game, I believe.
Second and goal at the 8-yard line, and it is Horn now back there at I-back. And Horn gets the call, and he breaks a couple of tackles, and Horn still trying to break free.
Some tough yardage up inside there. Millard West, just a bulk of their defense, trying to stuff it up inside. It looked like number 24 down there, Matt Hoff.
Yeah.
It's the guy that was underneath all of it. Here comes Horn. Well, that's a good job in there by 51, the linebacker for Millard West. Andy Leaders, as we talked about earlier, he is all over this field. But watch this here. The ISO, but the fullback's going to get knocked off by Leaders. That's what makes the play, and then Horn's going to try to bounce out, but pursuit will catch up to him.
Third and goal from the 7 for Prep, who leads it 17-3. And Slaughter now again rolls out and just wants to take off. And good defense by Millard West. Strung that play out beautifully. As in to make the tackle was Boyd Veers, the 6'1", 215-pound junior. Nice job by Veers.
Second leading tackler for Millard West as Slaughter sees a little daylight out there, but boy, I tell you what, Veers closes it down. Tremendous quickness to get over there and make that tackle. There it is right there. Great job, good hustle. Just determination to get out there. It just takes just individual determination to get out there and make that play.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna see Kingston this time. Yeah, Kingston will try another one. This will be a 24-yard attempt for Kingston, who is 1 of 2 so far tonight. And this one will be pretty much straight on. And it will be good. So another 3 tacked on by the Junior Jays of Creighton Prep. And they jump out to a 20-3 lead with 34 seconds to go in the half.
Well, this time Adams walking off the field feeling a little bit better about things as this one keeps the head down and he puts it right on through and lengthens the lead here for Creighton Prep. As you said, Steve, 20-3 with about 34 ticks left on the clock. Lots of people having a great time down there. Cold weather doesn't bother them a bit, does it, guys? They're just having fun here. Their team is winning and they're having fun.
So Kingston with a pair of field goals. Prep getting their other scores on a 93-yard punt return from John McClay and a 54-yard run by David Horn. The only point so far for Millard West is a 20-yard field goal by Weesey, and that has been it for the Wildcats. And they have generated very little offense here in the first half. It's been all Prep, and really Prep's offense has played pretty well, but they've taken advantage of a lot of turnovers. Here we go on the kickoff, and it'll be another touchback as Kingston just doesn't give them much opportunity.
Well, Steve, they have generated 37 yards of offense here in the first half, meaning Millard West, that is when I say they. 16 yards rushing and 21 yards in the air. Sean McLaughlin just 3 for 10, 2 interceptions on the evening, but again, just those 21 yards passing. So total domination thus far. Creighton Prep 132 yards, 126 on the ground and 6 in the air.
So now it'll be first and 10 for Millard West as McLaughlin, still a quarterback, will step away from the football, and apparently there's timeout has been called. It is timeout for Omaha Creighton Prep, so they'll call timeout with just 34 seconds to go here in the first half.
They want to talk things over, see what they can come out, see if they can come up with something to get it done. And there you see the jewel here, this brand new Don Bryant Media Facility, the new Skybox Suite project development here that the University of Nebraska just opened up brand new here this fall. What a tremendous facility it is. As you see those bright yellow lights in the middle, that's about where we are, Steve. Is McLaughlin out there talking with his guys. Dan McLaughlin, the head coach. Now, there you go.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the strategy will be for Millard West in the second half, because they have tried a lot of different things in offense and just haven't been able to generate anything.
You saw that monitor box, didn't you, sitting up there? That's a great old piece of equipment we have up here, as that keeps the glare down. It's just kind of a homemade monitor box as McLaughlin comes off the field, and Millard West now will fire it up here. 34 seconds left.
So McLaughlin again on first down, and now we have movement by Millard West on offense. It'll be a penalty, illegal motion, and they'll set him back another 5, and that isn't what they needed. Coming up at halftime, we're going to talk with the prep writer for the Omaha World Herald, Stu Poshpischel. Always a pleasure to talk with Stu. Who's I don't know how many years Stu's been doing it now. 10, right? Oh, wow. I can almost double that, Stu.
Started when he was 14.
Here we go on 1st and 15. They run a counter play, end around, and get some room as the penalty flags go flying. And it was McClay in on the tackle for Prep. Is coming around that end for Millard West was David Fredericks. Fredericks coming all the way around, and now it's going to be a hold against Millard West. So when they get one of their better offensive plays of the night, a penalty will set them back. And, well, that's the last thing the Wildcats needed.
Yeah, things just have not gone well here. Watch the block here. Andy Leaders is going to put on Dan Lohr, 82, coming down the lane. There's 51. Watch this block right here. 82 is going to fill up, and boom, he goes to the back end. And then the Junior Jays fill it up from there. But, again, all that goes for nothing is there is a penalty on the play, and they'll move the ball back. And this last part of this first half, not a good way to end it up as far as Millard West is concerned. You want to go in with a little bit of a positive feeling, and so far they've been moving backwards, penalties, and just ill-gotten plays.
So, again, it'll be Slaughter, their quarterback, and they're just trying to get the clock run out a little bit. As able to pick up some yardage was Mickey Roberts. Roberts, the 6'1", 210-pound junior. And I think that'll be the last play of the half as we wind down 7 seconds and counting. And I think Millard West going to try to get rid of their frustrations and get reorganized a little bit as Roberts fights his way for that extra yardage. And that is the end of the first half here from the Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. And at halftime, Omaha Creighton Prep does lead Millard West 20-3. So big plays in that first half, Adrian, for Creighton Prep on offense and defense.
You bet. They capitalized on some of the Millard West mistakes, the fumbles that obtained in the first half, Steve, and then the big punt return that they had, that 93-yard punt return by McClay that really, it really sparked up the Creighton Prep attitude and confidence in this first half and led to that 20-3 lead that they have now as they go into the locker room. And it's time now for Dan McLaughlin and his charges, Dan McLaughlin and his staff to set it up and see what they can come up with here in the second half.
So again, it's 20-3 at halftime as a couple big plays in that first half. The big 94-yard punt return by John McClay for Creighton Prep was the thing that really busted things open. So now let's go down to the sidelines to talk with Millard West head coach Dan McLaughlin. And Coach McLaughlin, that first half big plays seemed to really hurt you a little bit.
Every play hurt us a little bit. We run the punt back about 100 yards and, 3 or 4 turnovers and short field. And
Dan, Adrian Fiala, it looks like your passing game is there, but Sean's been just a little bit off the mark tonight. He's had a few guys open, but, again, just a little bit off.
How about the 4 or 5 we've had dropped?
Yeah, right there. Right there.
I don't know. I've never seen us play this poorly, and I don't understand it at all. I guess I did a bad job this week. We're dropping balls. We're jumping the count. We're dropping the ball on the ground. We had 2 picks, 95, 100-yard punt return. This is really bad. We got to really play a lot better just to try to get back in this.
Dan, their defense is so tough. I'm sure that's a concern of yours coming back out here in the second half.
Well, we've got to try to do something to get something established because otherwise it's going to be a blowout. We've got to try to get something going on the ground a little bit so we can try to throw. I think we can throw the ball, but if that's all we can do, we're going to get in trouble there too. So we've just got to try to get something going.
Your defense actually played pretty good at times during that first half. It's just the big plays.
Our defense played great. They just had one big play. Horn popped one down the sidelines for about 50, and that's the only thing that they've done. Our defense has kept them out of the end zone. I don't know how many times, 3 or 4 times, they got field goals. So, I'm proud of the defense. They're doing their part. It's just the offense isn't playing well, and then we give up the big punt return.
Dan, good luck the second half. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
Thanks, Adrian.
And again at halftime, Omaha Creighton Prep builds a 20-3 lead, and we'll come back with some halftime activities for you right after that.
Andy, you want to run and get the stat sheet as soon as you can?
Back live here at Memorial Stadium, I'm Steve Roth, and being joined by Stu Poshpischel, who's the preparator for the Omaha World Herald. And Stu, a little bit of a surprise here at halftime with Omaha Creighton Prep leading Millard West 20-3.
Well, Prep is taking advantage of a lot of things. Millard West should feel fortunate. They're still within striking distance at 17 points. It could have been 35-3 very easily.
I don't know if you had a chance to see these two teams first time through when they played, but this is certainly a different kind of ball game.
It is much more high scoring. Prep took advantage the first time of an interception right before halftime. It was 7-0. Their last touchdown came with a minute left in the game. But once again, Millard West has made the mistakes. Prep has capitalized.
Let's talk about this Class A field a little bit, Stu. Lincoln Southeast, surprised they're not in the finals.
Well, they met a Millard West team that matched them in the line, and Millard West was on a great roll at that point. They had scored on their last 6 possessions against Northeast for a 42-14 victory, and they scored on their first 4 against Southeast and won 31-7. They were really pumped for those 2 games, had the momentum still against Millard South, and as we heard Dan McLaughlin say, this is as poorly as they've played all year.
How is the field in Class A this year? You know, Southeast had dominated for several years. Back in the 80s, it was Creighton Prep that won 5 in a row. It's been kind of Southeast here in the 90s. This year, it looked like the field was a lot more wide open.
I thought it was. I thought there were a lot of very solid teams this year, especially in the Metro. The Metro hadn't won a great deal of titles in the past 5-6 years. You had Millard South one year, Papillion La Vista one year. Prep hasn't been here since '91, and that's hard to imagine when we remember the 5 straight titles back in 85 to 89. That looked like a dynasty that was going to continue, and it just shows that high school sports are cyclical.
Stu, when you talk about dynasties, I guess, do you see that sort of thing coming back? A team like Creighton Prep or Lincoln Southeast has been there quite often, but do you see the talent level evening out like it has in college football, that happening in high school football, so that dynasty really won't come back to visit for 4, 5, 6 years in a row?
Well, I thought that Southeast, if there was going to be a dynasty brewing, would be the one, because they'd won 2 straight, had a lot of talent with this team. They're still the largest school in Class A, and they might get another title or 2 in the next couple of years before Lincoln goes to 6 Class A schools. So the split's going to affect all the Lincoln schools, I believe, Adrian, and Papillion's also going to be affected because they're going to pick up a second high school.
Yeah, we saw that happen at Omaha when the new schools came at Omaha, and I guess my own thought, it'll happen here in Lincoln too.
Yeah, and it's surprising that with Lincoln's growth, we haven't had a new high school here since Lincoln East back in '67.
Been a while.
You know, Omaha since then has had Burke Open and Bryan Open and Northwest Open, and the talent pool's been split from the traditional powers of North, South, Benson, and those schools have shown the effects. And Lincoln, I think, can support 6 high schools and support 6 good athletic programs.
Steve, when you talk about ratings, I know you do all the ratings all across the state. How do you cover that? How do you do that? I mean, you can't be all places all the time, so give the fans an idea of how you collect the information and make the ratings.
Well, we keep track of every school in the state. Start with preview sheets in the beginning of the season for all the schools, depending on the sport. And I chart every score in the state, and you talk to a lot of coaches, you read a lot of newspapers, and you just follow along. And there's a lot of people willing to help you.
I suppose your phone probably rings off the hook, doesn't it?
Actually, email nowadays, Adrian, is unbelievable.
I'm not quite with the 90s, I guess.
The electronic age has made you a lot more accessible, and there's a lot more instant reaction. The old letter writing campaigns just don't have the same effect compared to maybe an internet event or avalanche.
Stu, I'm kind of curious, who are some of the better players you've seen this year? I know a lot of our fans always wonder, who are we going to see maybe coming to Nebraska and that type of thing? Who are some of the best football players?
Well, obviously among those that have committed to Nebraska are Ira Cooper from Omaha West Side, Chris Septak, who we've seen just sparingly tonight with Millard West. Steve Krewald's an 8-man running back, kind of do everything, large kid from North Loop, Scotia. He's another 8-man scholarship commitment. Mike Erickson from Papillion La Vista's played very well this year in the lines. A lot of these kids have had bumps and bruises. Cooper and Septak especially were never at full speed this year, and college may give them a time with the redshirt season to heal up and play better. I like Dan Lohr tonight. I think that's been one of the big differences. Bruce had one dropped, and Dan Bruce is one of the best receivers in the state. but Dan Lohr has been all over him and picked up one pass interference penalty on the goal line, but Millard West wasn't able to pop it in.
Again, here at halftime of the Class A championship game between Omaha Creighton Prep and Millard West, with Prep leading at 20-3, and we'll have more halftime activities right after this.
This Nebraska ETV Sports Exclusive is made possible in part by Alltel, providers of long-distance, wireless, and internet services. Alltel, the power to simplify. And by U.S. Bank, a premier partner of the Nebraska School Activities Association. Well, there's Tom Jaworski, the head coach of Omaha Creighton Prep, whose team pretty much dominated that first half as they now lead it at halftime here 20-3. Again, I'm Steve Roth, being joined by Adrian Fiala, and some pretty big plays in that first half for Omaha Creighton Prep. Adrian.
You bet. There, Tom Jaworski talking it up with his charges. Big plays in the form of a punt return by John McClay, a 93-yard punt return in the first quarter. Gives Creighton Prep their first touchdown. They had a field goal by Adam Kingston early on with 9:20 left in the first quarter, a 23-yard field goal. And then Dan Horn comes up with a 51-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. Two big plays for the junior days in that regard. And there you see the numbers on the day. Creighton Prep 132 total yards, 126 on the ground, Steve, as opposed to 50 total yards for Millard West. And one fumble lost by each team, but again, there's that pass interception side, that 3 for 10 by Millard West, and 2 pass interceptions hauled in by Creighton Prep here tonight off the arm of Sean McLaughlin. One stat not there. Here comes the punt return, a 93-yard punt return. And you see McClay, there's a huge block right there. Good split right there. That's just quickness to split those two tacklers, and then it's off to the races by John McClay. That's part of the stat that didn't show up on the board there. And as far as punt returns go, Creighton Prep has returned 2 punts tonight for 105 yards, Steve Roth. So again, their special teams area as far as punt returns go, doing very well. Not so good in the place kicking category, however.
So now Dave Horn also had a big play, the 54-yard touchdown run by David Horn, the sophomore, just cut to the outside. Boy, he made a great fake there, barely stayed in bounds. We saw a good replay of it that the guys down in the truck had for us earlier, and we could see that he just stayed in bounds as he tiptoed along the sideline in the big 54-yarder. So I'm glad 2 big plays tonight for Creighton Prep.
Glad we had that shot, because it was Troy Goodman who leveled the block that let him go on the inside. Didn't see that on the earlier replay, but Troy Goodman, senior, 5'11", 192, putting the block down to let him go down the sideline, that being Dan Horn on that play. Good job by Goodman.
So Jeff Weesey will kick it off for Millard West to start the second half. So Creighton Prep will get the ball as they lead at 20-3. And dropping back now looks like Joe Morrow, one of them back there.
Joe Morrow here on the near side, and over on the far side, we can pick that up.
I believe Dan Lohr. And you heard Stu Poshbush talk about Lohr at halftime. He's
Cortland Jimerson way on the other side there, the far receiver.
So it is Jimerson.
Jimerson and Morrow will try to see if they can put a good return up here as we get this second half underway.
Again, it's 20-3 here at halftime. Creighton Prep getting those big 2 touchdowns and a couple field goals tacked on by Kingston. Kingston, outstanding kicker.
Creighton Prep looking for their 8th championship as we have about 4 or 5 seconds left here to go as the referees are ready to set it up and get this underway. Creighton Prep looking for their 8th championship. They've been a runner-up 4 times, from 85 to 89. They had 5 in a row. They've had 21 appearances in the state playoffs. That's an all-time record by Creighton Prep.
And Millard West now set to kick it off in their 4th state playoffs as it goes into the end zone. Millard West only has been a school for 5 years, and 4 of those 5 years they've been to the state playoffs, and here they are in the finals battling Omaha Creighton Prep, but their backs against the walls here.
They were here last year. They lost to Lincoln Southeast in the finals 23-7 did Millard West, and you were hoping, or they were hoping, that experience in the state finals last year would do them well here. Again, we have a lot of football left to go. We have 2 quarters of football just underway here in the third quarter, and the score is 20-3 as Creighton Prep breaks the huddle. They lead in the ball game.
Well, David Slaughter stays at quarterback, and we've seen him most of the night. He was in there for all but one series. And there's Horn again with some runs. He turns a corner, and he's trying to go, but finally hauled down at about the 41-yard line. David Horn, the quick sophomore for the Junior Jays, turns the corner again and almost got away before Brian McIntyre was able to haul him down.
Shot from field level, as you see, and good blocks. Holtmeyer over there, Kramer over there. And Horn, again, the foot race to the corner. He wins that foot race, beats all the defense over there, and picks up good yardage. He picks up 20 yards out to just across the 40-yard line.
So Slaughter now on 1st and 10. Goes to his fullback. Very little room for Troy Goodman as he is stacked up immediately by Matt Thompson for Millard West. So that they get him right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up 2nd down, and actually 2nd and 11 as he lost a yard on the play. So Slaughter has really done a good job. He kind of alternated starting with Burns, and then Burns got hurt in the semifinal, and that put Slaughter had a great semifinal game against Westside. And Slaughter now on the delay give to Horn as the flags go flying. Not a lot of room for Horn on that play, as he is smothered in there by Boyd Veers. And we'll have a holding call against Prep. This one may be declined. And there you see the hold as the hand went out there and grabbed the jersey.
There's the draw play. That ball came loose also, Steve, but Horn got it back under control. Ball just kind of ripped out as an arm was grabbed, as his arm was grabbed coming up through the hole on the delay, or on that draw play. But again, the holding call will be enforced as they mark off the yardage, and that'll put it back just across the 30, make it 2nd down and 22 to go now for the Junior Jays.
I'm a little surprised they took that penalty. They decided to go for the field position, but Prep's been able to move the football. But you heard Coach Dan McLaughlin say at halftime he's been pretty happy with the defense overall. As McLaughlin will drop straight back to pass. He's under a big rush, and down he goes as Matt Thompson gets a hold of him and corrals him down. Thompson, a big 6'3", 285-pounder, and he showed some pretty good wheels that time, and that'll give him some good field position.
Coming on the blitz that time, Boyd Veers, the linebacker, he was coming from the left side. And that may have confused a little bit of the blocking. Is you see Thompson right there. He's an all-state candidate, and once you get in his into his midst, it's all over. As Slaughter trying to spin his way out of that, but actually Thompson going to have no part of that as he tosses him down now, 3rd and 34. There's a long ways to go.
A 12-yard loss in that last play, and this is a big 3rd down. They just want to hold him down here as Horn is not going to get very far, and Prep playing very conservative with a 20-3 lead as Reeder and Nick Leaders in on the stop. So West did their job on defense.
They certainly did, and they pushed Creighton Prep back, well, about 15 yards, a little over 15 yards in that series, and they will kick a little bit deeper in their own territory now. Millard West a good chance maybe to get this football somewhere around midfield. We'll see as the kick here is awaited.
Fisher and McIntyre back for West. It's kind of a low driving kick, and that looks like McIntyre gets the football as he crosses into midfield as the flag goes flying. There will be a penalty on the play as he got into Prep territory to the 49. Phil Rosalanek in on the stop for Creighton Prep, but this one may be coming back as a penalty flag went down. And I think we're going to have a clipping, and we do, against Millard West. So when they got good, very excellent field position, they had it at the 49 of Prep. It gets knocked back, and we do have a player down on the field right now. As there you saw the flag come in, and a good run back by McIntyre for Millard West. We have a Prep player down on the field. And bouncing back up is Pat Drahota. So Drahota able to get off the field on his own power. He's played a pretty good football game tonight. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Millard West at their own 30. So instead of having the ball on the 49 of Prep, they're back at their own 30-yard line. So all that field position, the game kind of lost on that exchange. Let's see if McLaughlin now can get something going. He had some passes dropped that first half. We'll see if he'll go right back to the air, and he does. He'll drop back, and he's looking downfield. There's really no opening there. He didn't have much choice but to kind of throw that one away as Matt Madhauser, and it wasn't Madhauser, but Andy Jensen just really never got open.
Trying to force it on down there, maybe take a chance. He threw it right to the outside, right on the out of bounds. There you see Sean McLaughlin. But Dan Lohr on the coverage down there, excellent coverage, step for step with the receiver. Trying to hit that, that 18 to 20-yard out pattern. Didn't work as they'll go for down number 2 here.
So McLaughlin now will again try to pass, and they decide to stick into the air. Now he's got a man open. It's caught, and it looks like it'll be a first down as Daniel Bruce hauls it in. So good job by Bruce, tiptoeing the sideline, kept both feet in. He made it very distinct, as you saw. You'll see him slap his feet down. Here goes McLaughlin back and rolling out. Does a nice job. I like the way he sets up to pass. And there's the good stick on the feet, and does get the first down. So 1st and 10 for Millard West, and that's what they needed to come out and really get something going here. As again, you see a nice pass and a nice catch. Good haul in for Millard West. So on 1st and 10, here goes McLaughlin again. Wants to go right back to the air. They're not shy. And again, he was looking for his receiver, Bruce. Daniel Bruce, who just made that beautiful catch, went right back to him and actually was open. And I think it appeared as if McLaughlin just maybe threw it a little early.
Now the deep out pattern again, Steve, and the McClay was there on the coverage, and the ball was thrown, maybe 3-4 yards beyond the reach of the receiver. It had been thrown right there. McClay's very, very quick out there. He has good feet, good hands. Perhaps he puts himself in position to intercept the football, but we will never know that as here comes the next play.
On 2nd and 10, a delayed draw to McIntyre. McIntyre has some room, and he'll bowl his way down to the 45-yard line of Prep. It'll be another Millard West first down, and John McClay comes in to make the stop.
Just a little bit of a delay again. You use those plays to counteract speed and quickness, and that's what happened here. Good block by number 73, as you saw there. But check it to 72. That was hard, as he just laid it open for the running back to come up through. The running back being McIntyre on that play.
This is a big drive now for Millard West. They'd really like to capitalize here as McClay went, and there was all kinds of movement. McClay himself moved and kind of, I think, set McIntyre in motion.
Left guard moved that time. It was Andy Leaders, actually, 51, who was moving. Let's see if that's how they call it here, as a procedure penalty on Millard West.
It just looked like that play was never set to get going. But this is really a big series. Millard West trailing 20-3. Really needs to move the ball, prove they can get back into this football game. If they could drive it down and score, they're right back in this thing with no problem.
You bet. Steve, they make it a 10-point ball game if they can do that. But now it's 1st and 15 to go. And the Creighton Prep defense aiming to take over here.
Let's see if they'll go back to the air. That's been the story so far here in the second half. And nice pass. He goes right back to Daniel Bruce. Boy, that was a good firing pass by McLaughlin. Bruce tackled by John Vincentini and Dan Lohr again. Those two guys playing good defense. But I really liked the arm that McLaughlin showed there as he fired that thing on a very tough pass.
Now watch the pressure here coming right up the middle. There you see the linebacker coming up the middle. Maybe not quite as intensely as you would like to see it happen. That was number 44 Gallwitzer, but again the pressure coming, and McLaughlin sensing that, but again he delivers the football. Nice route as they move it up 2nd down and 3.
And they'll give to the fullback Keith Hoff, who's coming to the game. He breaks free, and Hoff with a big gainer all the way down to the 20-yard line. Keith Hoff, 5'8", 210-pound sophomore who just came into the game, was tackled by Matt Stratman. And Hoff just got in there, and he rips off a big run, and that's what Millard West needed. So I think they caught him off guard a little bit. And
wow, look at the block right there. Andy Leaders the block. He's the reason this guy makes all the yardage, Steve. Andy Leaders just stepped up and took that Prep defender right on head on, and there you see it right there again. and Hoff gets it down right at the 20-yard line.
So they'll go up the middle again. It looks like Hoff, and boy, he is a tough runner. Hoff got about 10 yards after contact his first time. The second time around is he carried Titus Adams for a couple of yards, and Adams, a big guy to haul at 6'4", 275 pounds.
We didn't see much of Hoff as far as carrying the ball in the first half at all, but now here in the second half, he has 2 carries for 20 yards. Just a big, tough, bruising young man, as you said, 5'8", 210 pounds. And he is just tough to bring down. Very strong young man.
2nd and 8 for Millard West at the prep 18-yard line. As McLaughlin will roll out to pass again. He's got guys open across the middle, and that ball was almost picked off. It went in and out of the hands of Mike Nizzi on the defense. Didn't see for sure who the intended receiver, I think, was Andy Jensen. It was Jensen, as you see McLaughlin roll out. And Jensen just should have had this one. Went right through his hands and almost picked off.
We talked about at halftime with Dan McLaughlin, the coach, a number of balls have been dropped. That ball, pretty good mustard on it, but it's a catchable football. In a game like this, you have to catch those kind of passes if you're going to win in this situation. As Millard West now has taken a timeout here with 6:38 left in the third quarter.
One thing is this quarter going very quickly, Adrian. Prep got the ball first and was really kind of moved backwards quite a ways. This is the first possession here in the second half for Millard West. Very important possession as they find themselves down by 17. Moving the ball much better, though. They have come out and played much more crisply, and I like the way they're mixing the pass and the run up, and they're not scared to throw that football.
They're going with Keith Hoff, as we talked about. A couple of good runs by that young man to kind of spark up that offense to some extent, and throwing the ball a little bit better out there. But again, a couple of miscues have led to some problems there. But 6:38, and you can bet that Prep, once they get the football, they'll just be burning time, Steve. They have a 17-point lead. Make sure they pick up 2 or 3 first downs in the process. Try to get the score if they can, but just burn as much time off the clock as they can, as we're about ready to resume play here on the field. And where are those guys at? I'm trying to figure that out.
Pretty good crowd on hand here at Memorial Stadium. I'm Steve Roth, Adrian Fiala alongside, as we have a 3rd and 8 big play coming up. As Mickey Roberts now has come to the game and gets the football. Here's Roberts. He breaks free at the 10, the 5, down, touchdown, Millard West. Mickey Roberts just coming into the game, 6'1", 210-pound junior, as he replaced Keith Hoff, and they went right to him. Some good blocking up front, but a beautiful job by Mickey Roberts, or Keith Hoff, I mean.
He goes up on through, and Pat Drahota is the first guy that had a shot. Watch the blocking and then watch the individual effort. And there's Roberts. 1 tackle miss there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he finally crosses the goal line. The youngster just running possessed right now. Mickey Roberts, he and Hoff about the same size in terms of weight. He being 6'1" and 210 pounds. Hoff a little bit shorter, 5'8" and 210, as they kick it through, and we now have that 10-point ball game, Steve, that we talked about a moment ago.
Nick Goldsberry with the extra point. Now again, we get to see Roberts
here. 51 again is Andy Leaders. He's out there leading the charge. Good seal block right there. And there's 1, 2, as we talked about, 3, 4, and into the end zone.
Boy, some great combination again of the run and pass. Millard West drove that about 70 yards for the touchdown, and that really's got to give them some confidence, and they are definitely back into this ball game. With 6:31 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, it really has to. They really were looking for something to hang their helmet on here in the second half, and Dan McLaughlin obviously not very pleased at all with the way it went in that first half and the mistakes that were made and the lack of control that they had, the lack of ball control. So now they put it up, and they're just 10 points away. 6:31. Here comes the kickoff to Creighton Prep.
Weezy kicks off to Morrow and Lohr. And this will be Dan Lohr crossing the 20-yard line. He's still on his feet and trying to find some room. And he is knocked down in a hurry. And that's the kind of coverage Millard West needed there to try to pin Creighton Prep down. Now, Prep looked very good on offense the first half. They mixed things up, had a couple of big plays. Let's see what they can do. Their first series here in the first half, they went backwards, really didn't get anywhere.
Here's the play again as Laura's going to get up to that wedge. Looking, looking for a seam to go to. Not a whole lot there as the white shirts begin to converge. And Creighton Prep will now fire away from about the 22-yard line.
Slaughter stays in the ball game and turns around and gives off to Zyback.
Jeremy Knott on the play on defense that time, coming through. And again, you can see a little bit of fire now in that Millard West defense. They are trying to get this football back for their offense so they can try to get back on the board.
And it was Joe Morrow carrying the football time. Morrow and Horn have switched off back and forth at that running back position in the I there. And it looks like it's Morrow still in there. And a fumble on their play is still loose, and I believe Creighton Prep got it back. I think Slaughter got right back on top of it. He did.
Millard West, a golden opportunity right there. It looked like number 66, Nick Leaders, had a shot at recovering that fumble, but the ball somehow got away. And let's take a look now. Good shot right there. Never had possession or control. That was Leaders coming in there, 66. And Slaughter, David Slaughter, alertly jumps back onto the football, 3rd and 15.
So on a long 3rd down play, here comes Prep. They are going the wrong way in both their possessions so far here in the second half. And Slaughter will drop back, and he'll looks like he wants to pass. He's hit as it goes. A loose football out there, and I think McIntyre. It is Brian McIntyre with the interception.
Chalk it up to Andy Leaders. The pressure coming from the backer spot as he took the loop around the outside end over there on the left side. And he put the pressure on the quarterback, and he's in his face just as he's going to deliver. Andy Leaders, the son of former Iowa State linebacker Mike Leaders, second team All-Big 8. You saw it right there. That's what creates the underthrow. And then the interception by McIntyre. Great job on the pressure by the defense by Leaders, and then McIntyre to come up with the football.
Well, momentum has gone Millard West way as Prep's defense trying to get fired up right now and stop Millard West as back again goes McIntyre. He fakes, now wants to go long and almost picked off. Really a good job by Daniel Bruce of turning into a defensive player there. Bruce knocked it away from Matt Stratman. That ball really not very well thrown. It's kind of thrown to an area. And Dan Luer back there along with actually it's Luer and Stratman back there together. And you'll see some good play by Daniel Bruce here. Turns into a defensive player. Almost made the reception.
Yeah, that was a good throw. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it was right there and almost caught. But again, collision. The collision is what caused the separation right there. But again, McLaughlin right on the money.
2nd and 10 now is McLaughlin is a blitz from behind. I'm not sure if that's going to be called a lateral or whether that was loose. Well, the officials have not made an indication yet.
It's a backward pass, live ball. And Millard West comes up with it, but they're going to lose a number of yards on the play. But pressure from the outside. Watch this here. Let's try to get the number of this bus. Is that number 88? Yep. I think it's 88. John Vincentini. Big money player for Creighton Prep, all-state candidate. Had a big ball game last time out against these guys. He had a pass interception for a touchdown, and then also had a touchdown pass on a fake field goal that they ran. And again, a big factor in that previous 14-0. Actually scored all of their points. But Vincentini coming up big at a time when the Creighton Prep defense really needed a spark, and he put it together.
Credit Brosdo with a big recovery coming back and getting that football for Millard West because they almost lost it. And now they'll be stopped at the line as carrying the pig that time is Keith Hoff and Dan Glasgow right there to meet him. So tough series for Millard West, and they'll have to punt it away. That series didn't go very good for them at all. And again, that was just a tough play on that backwards lateral.
Well, this is extremely hard running. Those are tough yards up inside. Hoff trying to get to daylight, but just doesn't happen as Glasgow finishes it up. He's the 3rd guy to pop him, finally bring him down.
Well, here's the punt, and the always dangerous John McClear back there to try to get the punt, but it bounced away on him, and he really never had a shot. He would have had to call a fair catch, and I think he was hoping maybe to run off another big one. He had a 94-yard punt return for a touchdown in the first half, but 34-yard punt there, really no chance for a return.
Yeah, problem with that was the ball and the defenders were arriving all at the same time, and you just don't want to take a chance there and take a chance for two things, getting your block knocked off and then finally fumbling the football. So Creighton Prep has possession of it at the 34-yard line. 3:24 left.
And with that 10-point lead, let's see if they'll stay conservative. They pretty much have stayed on the ground. It's Dan Burns in there at quarterback. As he hands it off, there's going to be a loss on the play. Andy Leaders got in there in a hurry.
Also, Boyd Veers from his linebacker spot, Steve. He didn't wait. He was coming on the blitz. Watch him here, 53, linebacker spot. And he rolls him over.
So David Horn back in at running back. Horn and Morrow have switched off, and we're seeing Dan Burns for only the second time so far tonight. Burns played one series, but Burns and Slaughter have alternated all year, so they are used to coming in game situations like this. And back it goes to Horn. Horn with a great speed. This time cannot get to the outside. Hauled down at the line of scrimmage. Good play by Andy Leaders again.
He has been all over the field tonight, both on offense and on defense. There you see him, the big hulking number 51, Andy Leaders. Watch this here. Looks like might be some room, but then he gets away from the block by 43, Adam Kingston. And the play goes for no gain, 3rd down and 10.
Boy, that was a great play because it looked like he was going. It's now 3rd and 10 for the Prep Junior Jays, who have struggled here in the second half. They have not had very good offense at all. Back is Burns. He wants to pass. A flag goes down. Appears to be holding. A man wide open is Horn. Horn hauls in the reception, gets it all the way down to the 38-yard line. Matt Hoff in on the tackle. Horn was wide open that time, but I think we're going to have a holding call against Prep.
Wait to see on the call here as Greg Mashman will inform us and the public it indeed is a holding call.
That flag went down long before the ball was ever thrown.
There's the play again. See if we can spot it somewhere.
And again,
not in that frame we couldn't.
And
nice throwback there as Horn sneaks out of the backfield. The wide receiver's cleared away, and he comes out of the backfield and then streaks down on the throwback, and he makes a nice grab. But again, Creighton Prep on the hole, and it will cost them and cost them dearly.
Well, that is a big turnaround. Millard West very fortunate on that play. Actually, had there, of course, not been the holding and would have hit him in stride, that would have went all the way. So, Prep now on a 3rd and 22. Burns looks again out to the side, and that ball a little underthrown, but it's hauled in. It is a reception, and it's going to be close to the 1st down.
I think that's Jimerson down there. Colin Jimerson running the fade route. And Danny Burns, kind of the rainbow action, throws it up, and Jimerson runs underneath it and just rests it away, fights the ball away from the defensive back on the play. Let's see it right here. See, he's just going to rainbow it up and say, hey, you guys go to it and see what you can do with it. And the defender is right there, but Jimerson just wanted the football just a little bit more. It looked like number 28 on the play, Brett Metzger, tried to defend against Jimerson, but short of the 1st down, about 2 yards short of the 1st down.
So McIntyre will drop back for Millard West, and he'll call the fair catch and haul it in at the 25. So Millard West just wants the football right now, and they'll have the 1st and 10 from their own 25, trailing by 10. With time starting to run out here in the 3rd quarter. This 3rd quarter is going right along very quickly.
Brian McIntyre, a force in the playoffs against Lincoln Southeast this year, had 140 yards in that win against Lincoln Southeast. Millard West pretty much dominated in that football game. Scored the first 4 times they had possession of the football, but McIntyre, that 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, 54 rushing, 84 yards receiving on 4 receptions. So he has been a money player, also a great defensive player for Millard West.
So Sean McLaughlin will try to get his team going. McLaughlin has done very good at the controls tonight, the coach's son, and will pass it up over the middle. And was that a reception? It looked like Daniel Bruce got it just before it hit the ground. What a catch by Daniel Bruce. He is their go-to guy. He has over 618 yards and 9 touchdowns on the season, and they have thrown it to him a lot here tonight. Watch this
here
catch.
On the deep slant, and here it comes, and he just goes down and digs it up.
That was close.
Took it right off the field, Turf, did Daniel Bruce. He has been the money ball player in terms of the long catch, averaging over 20 yards per catch this year. Notice a deep threat for West, but that play there just, man, great athletic ability to make that play.
Andy Jensen came in for Bruce following that. Let's see, McLaughlin's going to go to the other side instead, out of the backfield. He'll go to, I believe, Mickey Roberts. And another fine reception as Matt Stratman in on the tackle for Prep. So Millard West starting to move the football again, and they really look like a different team.
Nice toss that time by McLaughlin. Matt Mathauser, the linebacker, just right over him right there, you see. He ran right by him, and then just, man, that's big hitting right there. Wow.
Roberts checks in at 210 pounds. He's a junior, so some good young players we're seeing tonight. So on 2nd down and 5. Here comes McLaughlin again gives it off to McIntyre. McIntyre will have the first down close to the 40-yard line as Mike Nizzi comes over to make the stop for Prep. So Millard West continues their march as they trail it by 10 points.
Saw the option play that time. Motion from the opposite side here by McIntyre. And then Andy Jensen got downfield, split end over there. He got downfield, made a block. And McIntyre cuts behind the block and picks up a big first down as time expires.
So at the end of the third quarter, Millard West has stormed back, and it's now Creighton Prep 20, Millard West 10. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up after this. "12 minutes left in this Class A championship game, and it is a ball game. It was a 20-3 halftime score. Creighton Prep leading Millard West, but Millard West has scored a touchdown here in the third quarter, and to begin the fourth, they're starting to move the football. Let's see what Dan McLaughlin can do on 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of Creighton Prep. Here's McLaughlin rolling out, looks into the flat and in and out of the hands of Daniel Bruce. Boy, we've seen a lot of drop passes tonight. That's one thing I did read about in earlier in the week, that some of the players for Millard West talked about having broken fingers because McLaughlin throws the ball so hard. That one really was laid out there, and Bruce should have had that one. I mean, he had a tougher catch just a little bit ago.
You're going to win the state championship, you got to catch those kind of passes, and that's just frustrating for everybody involved on the West program, especially for the receiver. But again, that's about the fourth, maybe the fifth ball that's been dropped tonight. And between that and the overthrown passes, it's been a problem with the passing game here tonight for Millard West. And looking for the throwback right here again. There's a good toss again, and nice defensive work down there by the Creighton Blue Jays as number 14 for the Jays, and Mike Nisi comes up and knocks the ball away. Taking a look at the stats here at the end of the third quarter, Millard West came back with 145 total yards offense to end the third quarter. They had 50 at halftime, so picking up almost 100 yards, 95 yards in that third quarter alone, and most of that coming in the passing lane. Some pretty good running that was shown also, but again, Millard West doing a great job to come back here in the third quarter, and they got about 11:48 left to go to see if they can get it done.
On 3rd and 10, here comes McLaughlin. Big play right here, and he fires one across, and was that caught? I believe it was it almost looked like the secondary receiver, and it was Daniel Bruce again. I can't believe he caught that one. He dropped one earlier that we thought he should have had, and he had one here that I didn't think he could get to.
Well, between Bruce and McIntyre tonight, and we thought Bruce was going to be a factor because he missed the first game against Prep with an injury, and now he's back here, and he is indeed a big factor tonight. That is fourth grab tonight for 57 yards. He and McIntyre, he has 3 on the night for 21, and he's important because they're all everything tied in. Chris Septak is not able to play tonight because of an injury.
Here they go on the end around again. Carrying the football is Fredericks, and Fredericks is walloped, and I mean walloped, by David Horn. So Horn playing a little defense. I haven't really seen him in there much on defense.
Yeah, he's been out there all night, Steve, giving it a good go on both ends of the football. And that time Fredericks thought maybe, hey, I'm going to go with this thing. Watch this here. Fredericks going to come around. Here's the handoff. Now watch Horn, 25. He sheds the block, and whoppo. He goes right on down, right straight down. As we talk about yards after contact, well, those were negative yards after contact.
2nd down and 8 for Millard West as they have the ball at the 27-yard line of Prep. And again, McLaughlin going to the air. He's looking for a man down there, and we're going to have pass interference against Mike Nizzi. No doubt about that one. In fact, probably almost a good interference because Adam Steyer might have hauled that in for the touchdown anyway.
Millard West tried to confuse the prep defense. They set up trips formations. There are 3 receivers to the right side, and then Sean McLaughlin looks that off, comes back to the left on the throwback, trying to get the football back to number 45 over there, Steyer. And again, he throws it in the end zone, and pass interference was called on Nisi. And I'm not sure if we'll see here officially here that will come in about 2 seconds here. Here comes the call.
Again, the wind's not a factor tonight. Earlier today, it was very windy out. The wind not a factor. Not all that chilly as like in the 40s.
Here's the play again. Now let's see if we can take a good look here.
Oh, yeah. I think the hand was behind him, Adrian. It didn't seem like it was.
Well, he had about a yard separation on him too. But anyway, the referee, I think the back judge, making the call. He's standing right there. Here we go.
1st and 10. Here's the delayed handoff. It goes to McIntyre, and McIntyre tries to fight his way down closer to the goal line before Pat Trahota whacks him down. Our attendance tonight right around 6,600.
Setting up the draw play right there as Prep converges. Good job by Trahota. He was fighting off that block over there. Number 66 trying to block Trahota. That was Nick Leaders. And he fights off that block and makes the tackle. Nice work.
2nd down and 5 now for Millard West, trailing by 10. Mickey Roberts is coming to the game now as the single running back. McLaughlin's going to come back to pass, looking for McIntyre out in the flat. He's got it. McIntyre crosses the 5 down to the 4-yard line. He'll be very close to a 1st down.
McIntyre, a huge factor here in this second half. Coming out on the play out of the slot over there, or out of the I-back spot, I should say. And it's just tough as a linebacker to pick those guys up out of the backfield. And he gets that pass, tucks it away, and they're just they're very short. You see the receivers clearing out there, and McIntyre sneaking out. See, and it's very tough for that backer to get over there. That's number 95. That's Matt Vanderloo trying to make the play, but tremendous quickness and speed coming out of the backfield as West breaks the huddle.
Big 3rd down play at the 4-yard line as Millard West just comes right back to Roberts, and he'll have the 1st down. Good play by Mickey Roberts. The 210-pound junior got some great blocking over there by Leaders.
Leaders and Brazda over there on the far side. The right tackle Brazda, 61, and also Nick Leaders. Also the center that time, Jeff Ludman Davis. Everybody to the right of Davis contributing a great deal on that play as the sticks come out. And we'll take a look here, and
I didn't think it was close. A lot closer than I thought it was. It was a football length, but I thought he had it easily. But it was a little closer than I thought.
Well, let's see if Prep summons up some of that courage they had earlier on against this bunch. As I talked about in the first half, Creighton Prep did stop Millard West. First ball game they played them twice at the 1-yard line. So as they break the huddle, let's see what happens here, guys.
Cal McLaughlin now on 1st and goal. Will come right back to Roberts again. He'll go over the right side, get a couple of yards before a whole host of Creighton Prep Junior Jays knocking down. There's about 5 or 6 guys on the play. First guy I saw up off the pile there was McLee. But there you could kind of take your pick. A good job by Creighton Prep.
Underneath all of it was Titus Adams, and he is the guy who started all the jamming. See him right there, 78. He's jamming it up. He spins around. And then there's about 5 blue jerseys that jump on Roberts on the play. Down number 2.
2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. McLaughlin trying to get his Wildcats into the end zone. Wants to pass the football, looking out in the flat, and great defense. What a super job by David Horn. Boy, Horn has really come to play here in the 4th quarter. That was just an outstanding job by Horn.
Trying to sneak McIntyre out in the flat again. Number 7, the I-back right there. Set it up. And now Horn's going to read it. Just a little toss, and wow, just an inch away from being a completion and probably a touchdown if it gets through. But Horn saves the day for Creighton Prep, down number 3.
So again, Millard West trying to cut into that 10-point lead. They trailed 20-3 at the half. And the officials say a timeout called by Omaha Creighton Prep. So Prep going to call the timeout, and that's maybe kind of a big play in itself with this tied ball game.
Well, it gives Millard North a chance to come over and talk it over too. As you see the down and distance to go, 3rd down, 2 yards to go, and each team burning a timeout.
Well, in the first half, again, Creighton Prep had some big plays. They had a 94-yard touchdown punt return by John McClay. Also a 54-yard run by David Horn, and then a couple of Kingston field goals to have their 20-3 lead at half. Then here in the second half, Roberts had about a 12-yard touchdown run on just a good, solid 70-yard drive by Millard West to get them back in the ball game. But this is a big 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line for Millard West. Very important play right here.
David Horn coming back on the field. The instructions have been given by Tom Jaworski over there and his staff. Jerry Murtaugh, Sandy Buddha on that staff. Jerry Murtaugh, my old teammate at Nebraska years ago. He very active with this football team. And Sandy Buddha, as everybody remembers old Sandy. Sandy's my old neighborhood, Steve. But here it is now, 3rd down. Big series for Millard North if they have aspirations. 8:08 left of the game.
Roberts and McIntyre are the setbacks. McLaughlin, the quarterback, come back, fakes it to McIntyre. Now looks into the touchdown to Daniel Bruce. Good play action. They faked it to McIntyre on the end around and then went to Bruce in the corner. Great job by McLaughlin. And here come the Wildcats.
Dan Lohr on the coverage right there. He was trying to talk to the back judge, saying, hey, there was a little bit of a push on that, but here it is. And the ball is right there, and Lohr just out of his fingertips. Horn got that one last time, and now Lohr just misses it, and it's a touchdown. And, guys, we got ourselves a football game here.
Goldsberry for the extra point and gets the big extra point indeed to make it a 3-point game. So Goldsberry, actually, it looked like they had a little bit of trouble getting that football down. Nice job by Sean McLaughlin and getting it down for Goldsberry to punch it through, because that was a big extra point.
Nick's a senior and looking pretty good right there, and he puts it right on through the uprights. And I'll tell you what, gang, whatever Dan McLaughlin said at halftime, it worked, because right now Millard West on a roll, and I'm sure that the Junior J. Bentz over there concerned. Lots of time left in this football game, 8 minutes and 4 seconds as you see there. And that sign, yeah, go Cats. They have gone here in this 3rd quarter, and everybody is revved up about their chances. We'll see how that sparks this Millard West defense as they're about ready and set here to kick it off to Creighton Prep.
So Lohr and Morrow back to receive the kick from Jeff Weesey. Weesey, the fine kickoff man for Millard West, and he'll punch this one into the end zone, and Creighton Prep will have to start from their own 20. So now it becomes a very important field position
time and
game.
Yep. Bet, Steve. Both of those very, very important to Creighton Prep and to both teams. As we just have a 3-point ball game on our hands now, and this let's watch with intent here with respect to the Millard West defense, and just see where all of the scoring and this momentum has taken their defense, and see if they can stop Creighton Prep on this particular series here.
Well, we're going to see Burns back in at quarterback for Creighton Prep, a little better passer than Slaughter, so maybe we'll see Creighton Prep go to the air. Not on this play. They'll go right back to the tailback. I believe it's Horn back in there.
That was going to be an ISO play, and I tell you what, number 53 for Millard West, Boyd Veers, we've said his name a number of times tonight. He stepped right up into the hole, met the play, squared up, and forced that play to the inside, and for very little gain, about a 2-yard gain on the play. So play number 1 for the Millard West defense here. Huge series. Want to mark this one down to remember towards the end of the ball game.
Morrow was the one carrying the football last time. I believe he went out, and I think Horn is back in there. And Horn, the very speedy sophomore for Creighton Prep, the lone running back, as they split wide receivers to each side. And back goes Burns. He wants to pass. He'll throw it long. He has a nice fade route, but broken up nicely across the way by Millard West, Eric Fisher. Fisher is in good defense. He really read it beautifully, and he did the smart thing, Adrian. He kept looking at the quarterback to see where he was going to throw the football.
Here comes the play right now as Burns is trying to hit that sideline fade route. And Fisher, he's had 3 pass interceptions, looking to try to pull one down again, but again, not able to maintain control of the football. But Third down nonetheless, third and a long 8 to go.
Big important play. Burns back in there again at quarterback. They do like to have him throw the football, and that's what he'll do here. He's going to try to go long. He's got a man out there, and it is caught. I can't believe he caught it. Adam Kingston hauled that in. There was good defense on him, but Kingston hauls it in a big, big play as McIntyre tried to break it up for Millard West.
Thought this ball was going to be intercepted all the way. It was underthrown as Byrne winds it up and lets it go, but McIntyre in good shape here, you see, but he jumped just a little bit too early on the play. Danny Burns winding it up. His daddy, Eddie Burns, at Nebraska here years ago in the 70s. And again, McIntyre just, his jump was about a click too soon, guys, and he went up and he came down a little bit before that ball arrived, and it results in a completion to Kingston on the play.
So Burns has really moved this football team, and he'll give it off to Horn again, and Horn working the left side will pick up a few before he's hauled down by Boyd Veers. Veers again very active for that Millard West defense. But Creighton Prep starting to move the football after Millard West has crept within 3. And right now they'd like to have the clock on their side as well as field position both.
Trying to get that blocking out front there. 53, Dan Glasgow trying to level the block. Nick Coleman over there on the left side trying to help out and level the block, and they pick up about 4 yards on the play.
So Dan Burns, 6'2", 177-pound junior, doing a great job as he'll go back to Horn again, trying to find some room. The flag goes down, and we're going to have a penalty. It appeared to be holding against Creighton Prep, and that'll set him back. Is Eric Fisher in on the tackle for Millard Weston. It is a hold against Prep. See if we can pick it up. But Horn just trying to find an opening there, and really some pretty good defense.
Play pretty well shut down over there as Creighton Prep linemen trying to make something happen. That didn't happen. What did happen is a change of direction by the defense because of the hole, and that'll cost Prep, and it'll now be second down and 16 to go.
Very important is in terms of field position again, Adrian, is the clock starting to wind down to just under 6 minutes to play in the game. So that really was a very critical hold. But Dan Burns proved that he got it to Kingston earlier. Let's see if he goes, and he'll come back and wants to pass. Here's Burns looking in the middle. He's got a guy out there open. I believe it's Kingston again, and knocked away this time. Kingston was out there, and in on the defense, Brian McIntyre. Beautiful job by McIntyre. It really almost it almost looked like that one was going to go for Creighton Prep, but McIntyre, Johnny on the spot.
It would have gone if the ball had been thrown more on the line rather than as high as it was. Trajectory very, very high as Dan Burns winds it up here. Ball just hangs up, and it gives McIntyre a chance to catch up to the receiver because Kingston had him beat again. But again, the ball hangs up. It's just thrown way too high and not on the line to the receiver. And so McIntyre comes up with a crucial knockdown there. Makes it third down for Creighton Prep, and outstanding play by McIntyre just to get himself in position there. 3rd and
16. Creighton Prep has the ball at the Millard 46-yard line. The Millard West 46-yard line. The penalty flag goes up before they get the play going. So this is a really critical third down play. And let's see, it appears that it's on the Junior Jays again. It is.
The men in blue moving back towards the northern end zone as referees will now mark it off.
Interesting to see what Coach Tom Jaworski calls for the offensive play here with 3rd and long and field position being important, but they proved that they can throw the football. As David Slaughter was at quarterback most of this game, but Burns has come in and done a pretty good job, and they will go to the pass. Here comes the blitz. The Burns able to get away, and now will launch up a long one and just overthrows the intended receiver, Kingston, again. So Kingston was open once again, but that time the rush, that was Jimerson. Jimerson was down there that time open.
Boyd Veers coming on the blitz that time, 53. He's the guy that flushed Burns out of the pocket. Got him over, pushed him over to the right-hand side, made him throw on the run, and then consequently the pass is overthrown that time. And Creighton Prep now will kick the ball away. Adam Kingston will kick it away for the Junior Jays, and Right now, 5:21. Lots of time left in this football game, and Millard West has really been on the move here in the second half.
McIntyre and Fisher back deep for Millard West. This could be an important return. McIntyre fakes the reverse and now just turn it upfield and unable to get back to the 20 as Sean Glassman down to make the tackle for Prep. Good coverage on the play by Glassman. So a big series right here for Millard West, down 3 points with 5:11 to go in the game. Again, they were down 20-3 at halftime and had 2 big touchdowns just on excellent drives. One touchdown came on the ground by Roberts. The other was a pass from McLaughlin to Bruce.
Well, the Creighton Prep defense has been known for having great defense all year, and right now their reputation is on the line. They have a 3-point lead. See if they can play the game and preserve it. Millard West will do everything they can to go the other direction.
Here's McLaughlin, wants to go long, and that ball is intercepted. It went in and out of the hands of Bruce, and the defender went over there and picked it off. Great job.
I think it's Lohr.
It is Dan Lohr, and Bruce was there was an argument of whether or not there was simultaneous possession, but no doubt about it. Excellent job by Lohr as that ball was in the hands.
Let's watch it right here, Steve. We'll get a good shot of it as McLaughlin sets it up, and again throwing a great arm out, throwing that out pattern. But oh yeah.
What?
Wow, that is a very, very close call. Lohr had possession initially, and then it popped up loose again. And if it's caught simultaneously, as you said, it goes to the offense. Take a look right there. So, the ball's out there.
It never had possession. Boy, it looks simultaneous to me, but here we go. Here's Prep. Here's Burns, gives off to Horn, and Horn finds a big opening over on the left side, picks up about 8 yards as Andy Jensen comes in to make the stop.
The play, it just strikes me here. There wasn't simultaneous possession on the pass itself, but the ball was knocked up in the air, and then the defender had the dominant position. So I think probably it is a right call. But again, that'll be one to be talked about if it goes Creighton Prep's way, Steve. That'll be talked about for a while. But you get my point there. On the pass itself, there wasn't simultaneous possession. Lohr knocked it away, knocked the ball up in the air. So here we go, second down.
It's a big play right now for Burns and his Creighton Prep teammates as he'll just drive it straight ahead, trying to go behind that big offensive line of Ludeman Davis, leaders. Or we got the wrong offensive line.
Needed to get it to the 18-yard line down there, and where do they spot it? It's right at it.
Nice block by Buddha, in fact.
Adam Buddha, senior, 5'10", 200 pounds, son of Sandy Buddha. Sandy on the Creighton Prep staff.
And it is a first down for the Junior Jays.
Well, they still haven't.
Well, there was a penalty.
Yeah, there we go. And now it is a first down for sure. The change move over there. Jaworski asking his people what's happening out there. 4:17 left in the game, as you see. 3-point lead for the Junior Jays. And Millard West would like to get their hands back on the football. But right now, their defense, again, a team known for their great defense, their backs against the wall.
So it's first and goal just inside that 10-yard line. So they make it about as tough as you can on first and goal. They give it right off to Horn. He's got a big opening touchdown. And that may put the nail in the coffin. Some great blocking up front again for Horn. Horn so quick getting to the hole, and that Prep crowd across the way excited about that as they saw Millard West climb back into this game.
Watch the blocking right here. Vanderloo, 95, a good block right there on the outside, and then it's all up to Horn as he takes 3 people, to call it 2 people in. One of the Millard West defenders flying right past him, but on that right side over there, or check it, the left side, Glasgow and Coleman, as the kick is up, and it is through the uprights, and it's good.
So Kingston tacks on the extra point. And there they are, right back to that 10-point lead. What a great cutback right there.
Well, watch the blocking, though. That's the key right there, is you don't go anywhere without those guys up front getting the job done. And, boy, they got the job done for Horn on that last play. And, again, Matt Vanderloo, number 95, leveling a block that kept that defender from crashing down to the inside, along with blocks from Coleman and Glasgow on that left side of the Creighton Prep offensive line. So well done, well executed. A 10-point lead, 3:58 left here in the fourth, Steve, and usually that's pretty golden. It takes something untoward to happen in terms of the unusual, and let's see what happens if Millard West can come up with a quick score. They need a quick score and then get the ball back somehow and try to go again.
And Kingston hasn't given Millard West many opportunities to run the ball back tonight. He's a very good kicker. We'll have Fisher back there along with Callaway.
That's the key right here. You want to put it in the end zone, eliminate any chance for a return as the ball blows off the tee.
But a great job by Prep taking advantage of that interception, which you mentioned, Adrian. I think it'll be a bit of a talked about play.
Yeah, they'll talk about it. It'll be interesting just to find out the exact interpretation on that.
But nonetheless, the big key was the Junior Jays converted it into a touchdown. And here's the kick. It will be returnable by Callaway. Callaway looking for an opening, turns the corner, still dancing over the sidelines, and is driven out of bounds. So Callaway not able to get the kind of field position he's hoping to. So I got to think that McLaughlin will come out throwing that football.
No doubt about that. As you see Callaway, senior, 5'9", 165, trying to find an opening there. Nothing going. So now what you do is just get out of bounds. Just get out of bounds, stop the clock, rather than taking the shot like that and having them force you out of bounds. Just go ahead and run it out of bounds, stop the clock, get your offense on, get it set, and get going. And the Creighton Prep defense a little bit late on the set out there. We're going to have another whistle down on the field.
And another timeout taken by Prep. As you said, they were having a hard time getting organized.
Yeah, they were not ready to go, not ready to pull the trigger as far as their defensive set goes as they gather around over there.
It was kind of interesting, Adrian, that Slaughter, Slaughter, the quarterback for Creighton Prep, David Slaughter, did such a great job that first half, really moving the Blue Jays up and down the field. And then the second half, the first two series, he had a little trouble. The offense had trouble, able to bring in Burns, and he moves him upfield. So
it's been happening most like that quite a bit this year. Burns injured his ankle against Central in game number 3, I believe, or game 4. Injured that ankle, that left ankle, and finally got 100% here a couple of weeks ago. Able to go full blast with it, and so he has a good arm. Again, his dad, Eddie Burns, played quarterback at Nebraska in 1974 to 79, and then with New Orleans in 78, 79. So good genes at the quarterback spot. Here we go, Steve.
So McLaughlin drops back for Millard West, who needs to get a quick touchdown, but not here. As great defense by Pat Drahota. Fired in there, and down he goes.
Drahota trying to put a final seal on this thing as the clock continues to tick. And Millard West, they have 2 timeouts left here as time runs down, 3:30 and counting as you see. But good effort that time. Everybody covered deep. They were trying to run. They ran everybody deep straight on down the field, trying to set it up one-on-one. But again, the coverage there by Creighton Prep. Here's down 2.
So McLaughlin, I'm sure we'll try to air it out. He drops back, has some protection. Now just looking out into the flat. And got the receiver out there. That's Adam Steyer. And Steyer's got some room and smartly gets out of bounds to stop the clock. So Steyer found a little bit of a convoy.
Screen pass all the way. They set it up. They had he's going to look off right here. So he's looking right, making everything. He's sprinting out right, making everybody think it's going that way. And then they sneak it out here on the screen pass. There is room to go here. Out there leading the way, that's Jeff Ludeman Davis, the senior. And boom, there's a good shot right there to make sure that he goes no further on the play. But it picks up big first down to midfield.
So again, McLaughlin trying to move this Wildcat offense. And he just has to tuck this one in and move it upfield and gets out of bounds as Titus Adams was right there. And now we have a Millard West player down on the field.
Good coverage that time by McClay, John McClay downfield. And McLaughlin, seeing the coverage, is there. No chance at all for a completion. Takes it up, picks up whatever yardage you can. He picks up, about 3 yards on the play, and then gets out of bounds on the play, stops the clock.
That was Roberts, who was a little gimpy getting up, but he's still in the ball game. He appears to be all right. Here comes Daniel Bruce, wide receiver. He's been the favorite target for McLaughlin tonight. Sean McLaughlin, the 6'5", 190-pound junior. Big, tall, lanky guy can see well, and he's looking right at Bruce. That's who he wants to throw to, but he gets hauled down by Drahota again.
Second big sack for Pat Drahota today, or tonight that is. Man, it couldn't come at a better time for the Junior Jays. Drahota coming up big. Watch this here. Right up the middle, and I tell you what, he was trying to get around, or he did get around the number 66 right there, Nick Leaders. And he was not to be denied. Pat Drahota with 2 huge plays here. Clock stop at 2:45.
You know, and Leader's a pretty good football player, so it isn't like he just went through water. That was just an excellent job. Timeout has been called now by Millard West as they trail it 27-17. Here in the fourth quarter, it was a 20-3 halftime lead for Creighton Prep, and then Millard West came out and got 2 big touchdowns to cut it within 3, and then the interception by Creighton Prep deep in Millard West territory, I think at the 20s where that interception took place, and then Creighton Prep able to take advantage and get another touchdown run by their outstanding sophomore running back, David Horn. Horn with the second running touchdown tonight. So now here we're back in action as Millard West. McLaughlin looks out into the flat, and not a good pass there. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
A little confusion on the route over there, trying to get the ball into Daniel Bruce again. But Bruce and McIntyre over there confused on the route. They were both coming into the same area. And you just don't want to have that happen on that route unless it's going to be one of those plays you call a pick play, but who would run that? Nobody'd run a pick play in this ball game. But at any rate, it's going to make it fourth down now, and this is ball game here for Millard West.
Really their only opportunity, and they'll have to put it up in the air, I'm sure. And back immediately goes McLaughlin. Has some time now, looking downfield, and it's going to be picked up, intercepted by Creighton Prep's Dan Lohr. Lohr has had a great game tonight and brings it back, and that was about the same as a punt almost. If it would have been run back some, they give him a little chance to run it back, but really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. It's just a matter of a clock game now, and I would think Creighton Prep will just run a few plays, and it'll be
here it is again. It's going to be overthrown by McLaughlin trying to get the ball downfield, and Danny Lohr picks up his second pass interception on the night here. That big one that led to a Prep score earlier on just a few minutes ago. And now this one here is going to seal it up for Creighton Prep with 2:26 left here, and he stays in bounds. Again, that clock's going to stop. They'll get everybody on, and now they'll start it up here in a moment as the referees will get it going. But again, Danny Lohr, his 9th and 10th interceptions on the year, and they're golden ones for Creighton Prep tonight.
And now just pretty much running out the clock is Joe Morrow back into the ball game. Morrow and Horn have been alternating quite a bit tonight.
Millard West, Steve, has one timeout. They can indeed stop the clock. Still a glimmer there if they could get it going, but 10 points in 2 minutes, forget it.
And it appears that they're going to let it slip out. So for the second straight year, being in the finals, they'll come up as state runner-ups. But they've had a great year. But Creighton Prep going to get their first title since 1989. And back they go tomorrow again, and he's going to be thrown for a loss. Good defensive hustle by Kyle Reeder.
There he is, 64, as you see the clock ticking up there. And a lot of anticipation over there in the Creighton Prep sideline. The fans over there are excited. They're ready to go. As you see Reeder there, 64, with that good roll-em type tackle. Tom Jaworski, he's feeling a lot better about things right now. Just hang on the football, though. It's key. You hang on the football. A good exchange between the center and the quarterback. Dan Burns in the quarterback.
And Burns going to milk all the time off the clock he can as Morrow is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Matt Hoff right there.
And now Millard West will burn their last time out. So they will get the football back here.
And we have a Creighton Prep player with an injury right now down on the ground. Apparently an ankle injury, and that's Andrew Vaughn. So they'll have to attend to him. But again, we get a chance. We get a chance to see Morrow run the football again. He's hit pretty good. And apparently in that pile, I think Prep player got hurt. But it was a 3-3 ball game for most of the first quarter, and then Prep getting those big plays, a 94-yard punt return for a touchdown by McCleary. They had the 54-yard run by Horn, a couple of field goals, and they led it 20-3 at halftime. But Millard West came out and had 2 outstanding drives, get a couple of touchdowns, and got within 3. But then the big interception in the fourth quarter, Adrian, was the play of the game, you'd have to say, that set up the final touchdown for Prep and put the game out of hand for Millard South.
You bet. Danny Lohr on both of those PIs or pass interceptions here in the fourth quarter as they attend to Andrew Vaughn as they take him off the field. And He was, I believe, the center on that last play, and he tried to block and get downfield, get over the left side, and somehow got things caught underneath there. So here it is, 1:07 to go. Prep.
And Kingston will punt this away for the Junior Jays, and he'll just punt it right down there and let it go into the end zone, and it'll be Millard West ball out at their own 20. So again, the Omaha Creighton Prep, the team of the 80s, had 5 straight state championships in the 80s. Got to the finals in 91, but I believe it was Lincoln Southeast that defeated them in 91 in the finals, and then haven't been to the finals for a while, and they're going to get their first championship of the 90s to close out the century, and back on a roll. And they've got a lot of good young players yet, so we could see them easily back there next year. In fact, both these teams have some good young players.
Yeah, they do. And we talked about dynasties at halftime with Stu Posselsill, and not sure if that's going to happen much anymore, but here we go with Millard West. 59 seconds to try to get something going here.
So McLaughlin will drop back and just throw this one long and 10 for McIntyre, and it's picked off, and that'll be all she wrote. And now Creighton Prep will just have to run out the clock as Stratman gets the interception for the Junior Jays. And Tom Jaworski, who's been head coach, he said since 1972 at Creighton Prep. That is a long time to be the head coach, and he's done a fabulous job. Very low-key kind of guy, as we get a chance to see the interception again.
Desperation pass right up the middle, trying to air it out, hoping something will happen on the pass, but what happens is Millard West throws its 5th pass interception on the night, and they have given the ball away 6 times here. They lost a fumble and have 5 pass interceptions, so it's tough to win football games against good teams when you give it away that much. And it's about over, gang, and Creighton Prep is going to win their 8th state champion.
One thing, as I mentioned, Tom Jaworski, a low-key guy, but and they have always been a pretty conservative team. But he knows that they're always going to have a lot of talent at Omaha Creighton Prep, and he just teaches them to execute. He plays good, sound, basic offense and defense, and puts a few wrinkles here and there. And
you got steady, consistent work, and that's all it boils down to with Jaworski. As
this will be the final play of the game. And the Class A state champions for 1999 are going to be the Junior Jays of Omaha Creighton Prep as they begin to jump for joy. And that's the happiest I've seen Tom Jaworski in a long time, as he really gives a big hug there to John McLee, who had just a great ball game. And the Prep fans across the way now are jubilant.
They'll be out on the field trying to get Tom to come on over. This 8th championship for Creighton Prep will tie Grant for the all-time lead as far as championships go. Grant, Nebraska, 8 state champions, and now Creighton Prep tied in that category.
So we're going to come back and have some more post-game activities for a bit. But again, our final score is Omaha Creighton Prep wins it 27-17 over Millard West. Omaha Creighton Prep, your 1999 Class A state champions, as they defeat Millard West 27-17. And the Creighton Prep coach Tom Jaworski down on the sidelines with us. And Tom, first state championship since 1989. You got to be pretty glad to get back in the winner's circle.
Well, Prep needed one in the 90s, and we got one. The kids played magnificently, especially the defense. They were super.
Tom, you had some big offensive plays that first half against a pretty good Millard West defense. Were you surprised at those big plays that you got?
Well, you know, we didn't move the ball very consistently, but we did have a couple big runs and big plays. David Horn's run obviously was a super one, and but hats off go to the defense. They carried us the whole season, and they were magnificent tonight.
Tom, Adrian Fiala here. Again,
Hi, Adrian.
congratulations. How you doing, partner? Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Hey, your defense, 70 yards rushing tonight. They limited Millard West to that, and they also, here's the thing I like the best, 5 interceptions, and they also recovered a fumble. 6 turnovers for you, Tom.
Well, the defense, especially the first half, gave us a lot of opportunities to score, and we took advantage of some, didn't take advantage of others, almost came back to haunt us. But what I liked most was the defense the whole game, and you know, Dan Lohr gets beat on a touchdown late in the game to let him draw close, and he comes back and makes a big pick. And what a gutsy play, and then we got some sacks there late.
Tom, you came into this game, you had 17 pass interceptions coming in, and you get 5 more tonight. That's a pretty good way to end the season.
Our secondary, you know, we were playing against a terrific passing team. Millard West is a very fine football team, well coached, and our secondary and the whole defense was magnificent.
You went with Danny Burns a lot in that second half. A rationale behind that, please?
I played both quarterbacks all season. It just felt that we were the plays that we run well with David. They had kind of defensed, and it was just time to make a little bit of a change, give them a little change up. You know, we struggle a little bit offensively, so we got to kind of mix things up a little bit.
Tom, one thing that's overlooked a little bit is the kicking game. Kingston got a couple big field goals for you, and he kicked it out of the end zone almost every time on the kickoff.
Well, Adam Kingston's been terrific all season. He has. Kicking into the wind, and with the wind, he kicks it into the end zone. Good field goals punter. He's had a terrific year.
Tom, got some good young guys coming back. I know they always say, well, what about next year? And you want to think about this one, but David Horn, a young sophomore, looked awfully good.
Well, David had a great game, and he's a very good talent, but we're just celebrating right now. This is a great victory for our kids. They played hard. It's a gutsy team. We don't have any, great stars and everything, but they hang in there, and they're a tough group.
Tom, congratulations. Congratulations to your team, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Again, Tom Jaworski, the head coach at Omaha Creighton Prep, as they win the championship game over Millard West 27-17. Adrian?
There you see the final stats. Millard West just 185 yards on the evening, 70 yards rushing, 115 in the air, and again that Creighton Prep defense. The key stats here, that 5 behind the 11 in passing. That's 5 interceptions, and then the fumbles lost 2 and 1. So 6 turnovers to just 2 for Creighton Prep. So +4 for Creighton Prep on the evening there. And Dan Lohr, I guess if I'm picking an MVP of the football game, it's got to be Danny Lohr. He comes up large with 2 pass interceptions tonight. The senior will go away. He's an all-state candidate, and I think maybe he might have sealed some of that here tonight, Steve, with the play he put on. So great job, just a great job.
We're going to get a good chance to see some of the touchdown action that Millard West had. Here's Roberts getting his touchdown for the Wildcats to get them back into the ball game. Big play for him. Wildcats are down 23 at halftime.
18-yard run by Mickey Roberts right there to build the momentum for Millard West. And now you see Sean McLaughlin firing away just off the defender there, and that is number 19, as you see, Daniel Bruce. He had a big night for the ball club, 5 catches for 59 yards and that touchdown right there.
And here's Horn on the game clincher for Omaha Creighton Prep. Horn with some great blocking up front by that offensive line.
16 carries, 110 yards.
This Nebraska ETV Sports exclusive has been made possible in part by Alltel, providers of long-distance, wireless, and internet services. Alltel, the power to simplify. And by U.S. Bank, a premier partner of the Nebraska School Activities Association. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast from Memorial Stadium as Omaha Creighton Prep defeats Millard West 27-17. I'm Steve Roth. On behalf of Adrian Fiala and the entire NETV crew, we wish you a good evening.